His mouth has gotten him in every fight, big fight that he's had. And every time when it's time to present and perform, he's failed. On Saturday night, it's not going to change. What I do well, I come in with heart, I come in with determination, I come in with hard work and perseverance. When I get my hand raised, I don't know why. And so are all the millions of fans that have had my back over the last 20 years.
Tito always says I'm using my mouth to get my opportunities. The only person I know that made money using their mouth is his ex-wife.
Well, just to correct you, it was never no marriage. You're a fucking punk, dude. That's what you call class right here compared to no class.
That was a nasty line.
No
by
class.
Me.
No class at all. That's why you see him with thongs and fucking jeans and a t-shirt. No class.
They don't call you the bad guy for nothing.
A bad girl. It's kind of funny. I was listening to Christian Walken, little skit he did, and he talked about a lion, king of the jungle, this huge lion with a big giant mane in this hot, smothering weather in Africa. And the little small lions come up, kind of poke at him, bite on his ear, bite on his neck. The lioness comes over and bugs him. Then you got the jackals and the rest of the wilderness looking and seeing this lion's on that mountaintop. And they come over and bother him. The jackals laugh at him. The hyenas laugh at him, nip at his toes. They eat all of his food. And they sit back. And they got jackals like this who think it's a comedy. Until one day he gets sick of it and he attacks and he shows to these people who the fucking king of the jungle is. And this little hyena, I'm gonna eat right through him. And we'll see on Saturday night. You know what? It's good because it fuels me. It's fueled me over the last 14 weeks. And it's great to see. Because you hear that snoring nose? That's a snoring nose you're gonna hear in the second round of the fight.
That's good. That was good. That was good work by you. I gave you a good setup.
Yeah, you're a good comedian, man. That's about it. You're a good actor. That's about it.
Just here to help.
I'm a fighter. You're an actor. You're on The fucking Apprentice because of me. You're the bad guy because of me. You trying to talk because of me. You've never won a world title. Who's the last champion you've ever beat? Who's the last legend, as you say, you've ever beat? You call yourself a legend? What have you done legendary besides talk? Buddy, on Saturday night, those little blue eyes are going to be sparkling even more, man. Just wait and watch. Just wait and watch. You've dug your grave, man. You have dug your grave.
The F word, that wasn't classy.
I don't care, man.
No,
I don't care. You ruffled my feathers way too much, partner. You talk about my ex, man. You say shit like that.
You're classy. Tito. Come on. 4-letter words. Come on, Mr. Class.
Are you promising an exciting fight?
I promise you an exciting fight. I have 35 minutes in my heart to fight. This fight's only 15 minutes. I've been training this way for 14 weeks. I saw him at the commercial shoot. He's a fat guy, and nothing against fat men, but as an athlete, he's not taking this fight right. He's not taking this fight smart. He's already looking on to Wanderlei Silva. Buddy, you better look what's in front of you right now.
Lean, mean, and 217. Solid steel and sex appeal. The women's pet and the men's regret. I could not believe he called me fat. Look at the size of these arms. And when you're focusing on that, focus on this because I got 2 of them. That's basically clean, by the way, I'll mention. Pretty much. Tito Ortiz, Saturday night. Chael, call me a fat guy. What am I supposed to do with that? I've never been called a fat guy before. Though, to his point, perhaps I wasn't in as good a shape as I am now, but the bottom line is the fight's on January 21st. I fight anybody, anywhere, at any time.
Fireworks, Jimmy Fireworks. I'm better than I ever was, but nowhere near as good as I'm going to get. And tomorrow night, you're going to see the best me yet. I'm action-packed, stacked and compact, 110% complete. I can put people to sleep on the ground or on my feet. It's time to get things right, and tomorrow night, we got ourselves a fight. Tune in on Spike.
Been a long time coming. Chael Sonnen versus Tito Ortiz, ladies and gentlemen.
I've walked away at the right time, at the right place, and I've been respected the right way. Everybody at Bellator, everybody at Spike, Scott, you guys, this is the way it should have been. when I left UFC. This is the way it should have been, but everything in this world happens for a reason. Everybody, you gotta understand this. No matter what ups, what downs you go through in life, everything happens for a reason. If that wouldn't have happened the way it happened with UFC, this wouldn't have happened tonight the way it happened tonight. And I would rather happen it this way than happen in 2012. Because tonight, I'm on cloud 9, my birthday's 2 days away, and I'm very, very thankful that I was able to have my son Jacob next to me to enjoy what a champion father can be. Because I've sacrificed so much to give my children what they have. So much time away. People don't understand how much we sacrifice, how much we just, suffering we do. All these other fighters, they understand it. They understand the suffering we do. But the families don't understand it. The fans don't understand it. They jump from one boat to another. But at the end of the day, all we're trying to do is just feed our family and try to give our kids what maybe we never had, what I never had, because I never had that. I never had a silver spoon in my mouth. I slept in motels, I slept in cars, I slept in trailer parks. And I don't want my children to ever see that. So over this last 20 years, I've seen a sport come from only 1,500 people in the arena to over 20,000, or 17,000?
I don't have the numbers right now.
Yeah, over 17,000 people in the arena. That's amazing to see. And I don't know how many viewers they got, but you've seen how Bellator has made a stamp tonight. We made a stamp because they pushed us fighters forward. Everybody who fought here up to tonight, we fought with our heart and soul. And I gave my heart and soul out there. Hey, Chael, you have something to say, Chael? I promise. Hey, Chael, you have something to say, Chael?
Happy birthday. I thought I said it. Happy birthday.
You're going to leave it at that?
I'm going to leave it at that. Tito won.
All right, guys. I'll give you a chance, dude.
Do you still want Vanderlei Silva next?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, I don't want to use this as a platform to get something going with Vandal. This is Tito's night. You know, it's his birthday, and he retired, and he won fair and square. And I was completely ready for the contest. I had great coaches, great training, and I don't think I was too small. Tito thought I was too small for him. I don't think I was too small. I think that he got a position. I think he won the position. As far as Vanderlei goes, yeah, that's. I'm gonna fight Vanderlei the next time I see Vanderlei. But again, I'm the loser tonight. I'm not here to promote anything, man. This is Tito's night, and it's tough. Coming to a press conference when you lose is tough, but it's protocol, and we all follow different codes. And I will say whatever I want before a fight, but by God, I will walk out there and answer for it. And if it doesn't go my way, I will show up at the press conference and hang my head as well. But this is Tito's night.
Highlight reel, incredibly impressive, but also frightening knockout by Paul Daly, spinning back elbow into a flying knee finish of Brennan Ward. Ward was taken out from the cage on a stretcher, sent to the hospital. We have not gotten an update on him as we're doing this show. As you see, the forearm being taken down, deconstructed behind us. What is the takeaway from that KO? Obviously, we hope that Brennan Ward is okay, but sure. Were you more impressed by Paul Daly tonight than you have been in a while?
In a very long time. I mean, you know, that was, I think, at the end of the year when we're talking about knockout of the year. If it isn't knockout of the year, it's certainly going to be on the list. You know what?
I hurt my feelings though, King. Oh, you call me fat. They hit home because I am out of shape. They hit home though. That was a low blow.
Hey, that's the truth.
But I ain't said nothing about your ugly ass mustache and beard combo. I haven't said nothing that's true. You know, that's hit home like that. I haven't get on your ugly ass ears like a damn gremlin. I haven't hit home on you yet. You know, that was a low blow.
You can tell with my ears, man. I earned these ears from wrestling. It's cool. The beard, I didn't get cleaned up by my barber before I came, so that's.
You should have stopped by your barber.
But the thing is, you should quit. You talking about lifting weights? You lifting donuts. You know what I'm saying? And beard.
Oh, that hurts.
He's talking about you got big arms from curling.
Man, I got big arms.
And Pringles.
No, man, I've been lifting.
Listen, I heard you're training with Kobayashi, the competitive eater. You know what I'm saying for this?
Who?
Kobayashi, the hot dog eater. That's who he was training with.
What the fuck is he talking about? He's really hurting my feelings right now. Damn.
What's the treatment been like for you this week, man? Knowing that you're kind of on enemy territory, that sort of thing. How's the reception been for you?
They love me here. They love me here.
Why do you think that is?
Because I'm good looking. Duh. To me, it's always business. It's never personal, you know. I don't really care for the dude. I don't like him at all. If he dies or becomes a millionaire, it doesn't make me lose sleep. I don't care for him at all. But it's still business to me, you know.
How long can you keep this up?
Until I can't anymore. Until you gotta tell me, Calvin, your brain is too scrambled to keep fighting. Then I'm gonna be a movie star and have someone else read my lines for me, so I'll be all right.
How good do you feel?
I feel great. Yeah, I feel awesome. We don't have to cut weight. I don't know anything, you know. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't have to cut weight. I'm 5 pounds off, so I gotta do 5 pounds in the sauna, but it's nothing, right? Not like it used to be 20. Shit. Budweisers and saunas took years off my liver, for sure. For sure. But I don't know about my life. It's gonna end soon one of these days in some kind of crazy, going out with my boots on somehow, so I don't know.
I'm in martial arts more than 20 years. I started when I had 5 years old. I fought with all kinds of opponents, like quiet, very loud opponents, and who speak too much, who don't speak. And it doesn't help for them at all, because in the octagon, in the ring, we have 2 hands, 2 legs. I'm sorry. I already start. And
Can't let you get away without asking about Conor McGregor. He was, counter-programming you this evening with his Q&A over there. Some of the comments he made, I don't know if you had a chance to see, but on Instagram, he put a pretty strong post that included F the UFC in there. He said that, his next fight is going to be in a boxing ring, and he'll do it with you or without you. Would love you to be on board. Just curious what you think of his comments.
I didn't hear all that. Hey, listen. When you're about to go on, and do a pay-per-view that you're charging people $5 to listen to you talk, I'm sure you got to say some pretty crazy shit. All right, you know how I feel about Conor. I've always shown Conor nothing but respect, and if he wants to go down that road with us, let me tell you, it'll be an epic fall.
Has there been any advancement or any additional talks from your initial $25 million offer on that fight between Mayweather and Conor?
No.
Not a word?
No.
Do you think it'll happen?
I think here's what I think the chances are. About the same as me being the backup quarterback for Brady on Sunday.
You seemed a little bit more, I don't know, you did make an offer, though.
Yeah.
And previously you
because he was full of shit. And he said that he had made an offer which wasn't true. Mm-hmm. So I made a real offer. That was a real offer.
And lastly, for me, I know you're standing at the back of the room. You hear Dana talking about how impressed he is with you, that he believes you could be a future UFC champion. How do you feel when you hear the boss making those type of comments?
He made me happy. He made me confident, like as everyone else, Since when I started this sport just 3 years and a half ago, and then all the way when I continue, I grow. There are a lot of people behind of me who believe me and who push me, who make me trust of me, because for the beginning, it's not something who interested me. And then today, because of that people who push me up, I believe and I trust for this sport. Since when I have my sign on UFC, and then people continue to support me, to stay behind of me, and he pushed me up. He make me be strong.
I'm a fighter, Sometimes I like to play with my food. I like to beat guys up. I like to torture guys. Sometimes I don't pull the trigger. Sometimes I drop dudes and I smile at them after I drop them. I do what I want, and then nobody tell me what to do or how to do it, I felt like knocking him out because I wasn't going to decision. That's why I pulled the trigger every chance I got because I wasn't going to go to decision. That was my plan. Sometimes in the past, I've been on cruise control, kicking a guy's ass so much that I'm like, I don't need to pull the trigger. I'm just out skilling him everywhere. But I could pull the trigger when it needs to be pulled.
And now we know that you're going to get to face Amanda Nunes again. How does it go differently this time around? Does it being a 5-round fight change things? Because a lot of people thought it would have the first time. And when would you like to have that fight?
I'm very excited for this fight. I know that it will be a totally different fight with totally different result. And how I said before, Amanda won not because she was stronger than me. It was because maybe I give her some kind like a little bit reason to take this victory. But I know for sure I was training hard all this time, and every fight make me much stronger and much stronger. And that's why I know I will do my best to take this belt from her.
I hope one day I can fight against her. I know she's amazing. I really want to fight like her, but I'm too far from the top 10. I'm really far from her, but I'm working very hard to be in the top 10, then in the top 5, and I hope at the end of the year I can be in the top 5. So next year maybe I can fight with her.
Come on, come on. Good, 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 good. I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't want any of those bitches who are too scared to fight Andrade. Or maybe I did. Maybe I did. If you got the call for Andrade, I want to fight your ass.
Real quick, is that ring on your hand, is that any significance?
It's a promise ring.
Okay.
There's talk. But my other one's gonna be bigger.
I think that I had one bad performance, which clearly I've come back from. You know, the Paige Van Zandt fight was just, you know, they say sometimes it's just not your night, but for years and years of fighting, I didn't have anything left to give because I wore my body out so much, and then when I got into the fight, I just crashed, and that's why I took 15 months off, because I worked with a performance doctor, Dr. Cowan, and we did extensive labs, and I got my body back to feeling good again, and I started feeling like the fighter that I always knew I was. And I think that people judged me off that one performance and thought, instead of thinking, hey, maybe there's something wrong with Felice, they thought, oh, maybe she's just old and washed up. And I think that sometimes the veterans in the sport actually get overlooked because, we're not these young up-and-coming fighters that you can market. So it's like we kind of get left behind and, like, forgotten about. And I wanted to prove that, hey, I'm here. I'm here to stay. Like, I never went anywhere. I fell down. I got back up again, and I came back stronger.
Can you describe what you were feeling as you were making your entrance, whether there was relief, excitement, what was going through your mind?
등장했을 때 기분이 어땠어요? 좀 긴장됐어요? 아니면 조금 시원한 느낌이었어요? 어떤 거였어요?
너무 오랜만이라서 너무너무 기뻤는데 근데 옛날에 그렇게 기뻐하다가 시합을 망친 적이 한 번 있어서 최대한 안 기뻐하려고 노력했어요.
I was really happy, really excited to be walking in, but then I remembered that the last time that I got really excited about walking in, I got knocked out. But I came out and did my best.
Ariel Helwani in Brooklyn, New York for UFC 208 alongside Ronaldo Jacare Souza, Jared Cannonier, Dustin Poirier. I'm thinking off the top of my head here, but I do believe if you become the champion on Saturday, you're the first Dutch champion since Bas Rutten. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So you beat Alistair Overeem, you beat all those people.
Yeah.
What would that mean for you?
It will solidify my career. It's a personal thing. It will solidify my career. And not only that, I put that small country and that kickboxer. When I came into MMA, she's just a kickboxer, coming from that small country that only has kickboxers. I will put all those doubts away.
But do you need the belt to solidify your career? You've done so much even before this.
I don't need that. You know, I will be writing history with fighting this Saturday anyway. But it's nice to win the belt, you know, but the belt is not my focus. Putting up the best performance and getting a W, that's what I want. I've never touched the belt. I've never seen it. And if I see it, if I touch it, it would be around my waist. That would be nice.
I know you're fighting for a belt, and that's a big deal, and I know you sometimes get tired of being asked questions about Ronda. You want to move on from that. But considering the fact that your last win was against her, maybe even more so than winning the belt, is it important to win on Saturday so that you can move on and not have people say you're Buster Douglas and things like that? Do you think about that so you can move on with your life?
100%. I want it for me. I don't even care what other people say. I really don't. I know I'm fighting the best in the world, and I know that anything can happen in there. I know that I didn't put my best foot forward in my last 2 fights. These are all simple facts, common knowledge. Everybody knows it. It's out there. I know it. I know I'm coming off 2 losses. What I want for me is to know I'm not defeated. I want for me a victory. I don't want to have a 3rd loss in a row. I've never been here in my career, ever. I've never had 2 losses in a row, ever. This is a sore spot in my heart. It's sour. And of course I want to win. There's no way you would be in this sport if you didn't care about winning or losing. Oh, it's not if you win or lose, it's how you play the game. No, it's if I win or lose, and I want to win.
I don't watch and fight in my house, never. Sometimes I watch in jiu-jitsu tournament and boxing, but MMA, no. In my house, no. Never. My wife killed me.
Come on, tell me, how can you not enjoy it? You know, if you ask anybody, 6 months ago, Jermaine is going to headline in Brooklyn. 2nd UFC event, everybody would tell you you're crazy. This is the moment. It's now or never. I mean, you got to live up to a pressure, but I feel so amazing. I have a great team behind me. I've got great fans. Let's do this.
How difficult is the task?
Obviously a little controversial with those 2 punches that landed. Actually, it was 3. One big one, I think it was the end of the 3rd and maybe end of the 4th or 2nd and 3rd, and then the 2. Yeah. Do you feel like a point should have been deducted after the first time that this happened? And if so, should another one have been deducted after the 2nd time it happened?
You know, a lot of times with the first one, they give a warning. That's kind of normal. I wouldn't expect him to take a punch after the first one, even though it was intentional. And then the 2nd time, you think that at that point they would do something. But I'm just one of those, I don't know, I'm one of those people that feels like I should not have let her done it anyway. Yes, it's after the bell. I hear the bell. I stopped and she threw. It wasn't like in the, you know, the last punch of a combination when the bell rang. Like, it was intentional. It was after the bell. I mean, those are some of her best shots of the whole night were after the bell. And I don't know how the judges saw that. If they see that as points for her, then, you know, then what can you do? It's like, I should have kept fighting too then. I mean, I should have really capitalized on moments when I did well and not even let her get to that point.
Do you think she did it on purpose?
Well, yeah. It's like I said, if it's one shot after the bell at the end of a combo, then yeah, that's an accident sometimes. You know, you're in the flurry of it, but I still think I could have won the fight on my own.
UFC 208 is over, and we have a new UFC Women's Featherweight champion. UFC tonight crowned their 11th champion. Currently, it's their 4th European champion, and just the second person from the Netherlands to become UFC champion. Her name, of course, Germaine de Randamie. She defeats Holly Holm via unanimous decision. And Chuck, let's start there because it kind of signified the entire night. In the sense that it was controversial, it was close, it was a decision, only one finish on the 10-fight card. So let me ask you right off the top, who'd you have it for? Who'd you score the fight for?
Well, I had it 3-2 for Holly. And she was up here just a minute ago saying she thought she won the last 3 rounds, and that's exactly how I scored it. I was writing the live blog at the time, so sometimes you feel like you miss some things, but that's the way I saw it. Seeing it around the other way seems proper to me too. But at the same time, yeah, that was not the greatest fight. It was a little weird. It was weird to hear a crowd booing, you know, and some of them streaming out before the decision was even read. Things like that. I was just like, wow, I just would have never anticipated it kind of going down that path. You know what I mean?
Do you think the referee, Todd Anderson, should have taken a point after the second round? And if not, should he have done so after the third round?
Well, certainly after the third round, because the reason those seemed to stand out to me in my mind, especially the second round one as it happened, was because they had tied each other up so much in that toil on the fence and stuff. There was no freedom for them to stand and punch. Holly was kind of taking away that, you know, kind of posting her on the fence. So when that happened, it was like, oh, you know, that's a game changer in the sense that she hasn't really taken a punch that hard in the fight so far. But in that sense, you could say, well, she gets the warning. But when it happens in the second time after the end of the third round, you're like, okay, that's the one you got to say, hey, I warned you once. This is a point deduction.
I just looking for my goal. I have my goal, and I know that all this with going with on, because for the beginning when I start, because I'm always alone. I live alone, and then when people saw me at the road and say picture and start to talk to me, I'm not comfortable, and sometimes I just want to say, please, leave me away. And then they say, no, you have to do that. I have to talk with them. And today, I understand that I get to do that to follow my goal. It's some part of my job.
I'm sorry I'm late. I've had a hell of a day. And it gets better. We can't find Michael Bisping. What fighter has been more stood up at press conferences than George St. Pierre? The answer is 0. Anyway, on a positive note, George St. Pierre is back. And when we fight Michael Bisping, he's going to fight at a certain date. Ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, let's get GSP out here. And listen, nothing's going to go right today. I promise you that. Nothing is going right today.
I'm 36 years old. I don't have a lot of fight left, but I want to make as big as possible. So everything I'm gonna do the biggest fight as possible, and I want to make.
No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck, George. Everybody, I'm sorry I'm late. Dana, my apologies. George, my apologies.
Everybody gives a fuck that you're late. Sit down.
No, I'm sure.
I think Vegas got the best out of you, unfortunately.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because I'm going to get the fucking best out of you, so shut the fuck up.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
You're talking about being a fucking welterweight. You are a welterweight, okay? I'm a middleweight. I can't wait to fucking square up against you. Stand up. Stand up and look at the size of me and look at the size of you. Go back to fucking Canada.
That's all you have on me. That's all you have.
No, it's not. I've got a lot more than that, pal. I got
Skill, fighting IQ, athleticism.
Here's the guy.
Everything is on my side.
Oh, is it really? Height, reach, good looks, fucking accent, the jab, the punch, the kick, everything. George, listen, while you were away, because you were so scared of everybody taking steroids, I was man enough to still be fighting those guys. You went away, you went and fucking chased aliens. I don't know what you did. No one gives a fuck where you were or what you did. You're coming back, the sport is a different place, game over.
And it's got to be to beat up that drunk man right there.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why is the onus on me being fucking drunk? What's that got to do with anything? I've been drunk throughout my entire fucking career. Danny will testify to that. Why does that make this fight any fucking different? Why does that matter? I'm English. I'm in fucking Vegas. I'm going to fight. Hey, when is the fight, George? When's the fight? When do you want to fight? Because I'll fight right now. I'll fight right now, motherfucker. That's the difference between you and me. So you look at me.
You don't scare me, not even one bit. Not even one bit.
I'm not trying to scare you.
No, you really don't.
I'm not trying to scare you, but here's the fact. I'm a real fighter. I'm a real fighter. You're an athlete, and good for you. You're a very, very good athlete, but you're an athlete. I'm a fighter. Fact.
Mike, I love you. I love you, Mike.
We're here, T-Mobile Arena, UFC 209. We're the co-main event, but we're the real main event, baby. I don't care what anybody says. This is a battle between two warriors. I got a 9-fight win streak. What sounds better than 9? Fucking 10, baby. And we're here at 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu. I'm here with my squad from Tony Ferguson MMA. Dude, we're here for Snap Jitsu all day, baby. And he's gonna find out what that means real hard.
I wanna stay honest with you guys, but of course I'm excited about this. You know, I can't wait when cage close. I wanna feel his power. I wanna feel his striking speed. I wanna feel this guy because we're supposed to fight 2 times before. Now we finally fight. You know, that's why. Little bit nervous, but everybody nervous. Nobody want to lose. You know, I have 24 win streak. You guys think I wanna lose? Of course I don't want to lose. But I stay focused. I stay focused on this guy.
What I did out there, I mean, you guys saw half of the arsenal that I throw. I didn't throw nearly the things that I normally do, which is a good thing going to this next fight because he hasn't seen everything I got. And like you said, I wasn't switching sides, I wasn't throwing the hands, wasn't working the angles. So going back to the gym, making sure that I do that this Saturday. My mind's right, which is the biggest part, and I'm just ready to throw down. You know what? My goal Saturday is to not leave it in the judges' hands. And of course, it's a little easier said than done going against the welterweight champion. I mean, he's there for a reason, right? So all I can do is go out there to have some fun and do what I know I can do, and making sure I'm doing it out there that night.
You know, I was already prepared for Steven the first time. You know, I never underestimate an opponent. I never take anybody lightly. I went in there prepared for, you know, what he was in other fights. This time around, I think I just more prepared for the same thing. You know, you can make adjustments within fights, but I just don't think he's going to be able to make the wrestling adjustment, the grappling adjustment, the power adjustment, the timing adjustment, and the spacing adjustment. Those things that I can change in the fight just because my entire career I molded it on being a complete fighter. So I do think he's going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think he's going to try to showcase a little bit more of his striking abilities, but I don't think he's going to grab any new rabbits out of the hat. It's kind of weird that a striker get outstruck by a wrestler, and he's supposed to be the most creative striker in the division. So I'm just going to go out there and whatever opportunities I see, like I said before, I'm well-rounded. I can wrestle, I can grapple, I can punch, I can knock guys out, and I can also go through those hard, gritty fights. So I'm just going to look for what he gives me, and I'll take it.
Ariel Helwani in Las Vegas for UFC 209 alongside Mark Hunt, Paul, Bear Jew, Craig, Daniel Kelly. You know who Daniel Kelly was before they offered you him?
Luckily for my analyst gig, yes, I did.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I think I was working the day he fought Shoeface.
Yep.
So, yeah, I knew who he was, but I'll be honest, I had to go back and look to remind myself.
I mean, nothing these days make me feel awkward because I get beaten up for a living. You know, the bottom line is, what have I done wrong?
No.
But yet I feel like I've been ostracized or, you know, asked these questions about this shit. It's rubbish. I think it's bullcrap. But, you know, there's a big fucking pink elephant in the room somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of steroids in it. It's called a fucking needle. That's what it is. I think they're all just cheaters. Fucking cheater. And all I get is these cheaters. A lot of these guys on the roster are cheating. He's a cheater. No cheater should penalize these drug cheaters that they don't get money back from because they're called cheating. Oh, it's okay to cheat. I think he's a cheater. Lost respect for these cheaters and he's a cheater. No, motherfucker, you cheated.
And speaking of your home country, you are sporting the traditional Scottish kilt. What is under? Yes, please.
You want to see? It's my.
Your kibbles and bits?
It's my cock.
No, is that true?
Aye.
You're not supposed to wear anything, right?
No, you've got to feel the wool chafe your nutsack.
The big thing with you is that dad bod, all this stuff. But I have to admit, as a father myself of 3, how many do you have? 2. As a father myself, if I could have your body, I'd be very happy. I almost take offense that you claim to have a dad bod. Your body's great. What is this? I mean, it's almost like it makes me feel self-conscious when people say, look at your bod, like it's a bad thing, because your bod is actually fantastic for a 39-year-old, right? Yeah. You know you don't really have a dad bod, right? But people's main event is an important phrase to use. You know that, right?
I know, of course I know. You think I don't know what I say?
Yeah, no. Because I came up with that phrase, so I was thinking, loyalty, you say. My brother, Ariel, came up, and I'm going to use this, that's loyalty.
Today we're running together. Why you run only 10 minutes?
I know, that's right, I did right 10 minutes. I had to go do an interview. I was so embarrassed. You were running so hard, and I was like, oh, God, I'm going to look like such a sissy here.
You have to wake up early, yes, and running 30 minutes minimum.
You were paying attention?
Yes, of course.
How long did you run?
I ran 35 minutes. But don't be lazy like this.
I know,
you have to work hard.
For the interim lightweight title on Saturday night. 3rd time they've been scheduled to fight. Now we are just hours away. Whoa, and Tony Ferguson legitimately scared me right there with that one. That was intense.
I'm the greatest welterweight of all time, and I'm just going to prove it back to back to back. If they think I'm hard to deal with now, wait until Sunday.
What are you implying?
I'm just implying that if they think I'm difficult to deal with now, then they got another thing coming.
Hey guys, if you check your emails, we did just announce that the Khabib-Ferguson fight has been canceled. Khabib has been released from the hospital, but he was not medically cleared to fight due to weight management issues.
Do we know what's on the main card now?
Not yet. I'll let you guys know as soon as I know.
No replacement fight. We know no replacement for Ferguson is off.
Correct. That fight is completely canceled.
Breaking news, as you just heard it, Habib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson, one of the most anticipated fights of the year. The fight that both combatants called the best lightweight fight of all time has officially been canceled. According to UFC officials, they just made the announcement.
Tony, you went through a grueling camp. You got here today, you made weight, and then you found out that the fight was off, that Habib Nurmagomedov had to go to the hospital. What was your thought? What went through your mind when you got that news?
I thought it was a nightmare, man. Something worse than El Cucuy. There's just some shitty stuff that you had to go through. This happens in the fight game. No disrespect to the UFC or to Khabib. Everything happens for a reason. This is a fighter sport, man. So I want every single one of you to give love for the UFC and give love to Khabib. And I really want you guys to buy this pay-per-view because the rest of the fucking card is amazing. Stay true, fans. Stay awesome. Make sure you guys follow me on my way to victory. And I love every fucking one of you.
Tony Ferguson, ladies and gentlemen.
To the back take. I mean, that's nuts.
I've never actually done that before, the gator roll to the back take. Yeah, I've never done that, but it was there, and I knew that slick transitions can come that way because girls are flexible and we can move all kinds of weird, but it's like I love I love jiu-jitsu. I can do it with my eyes closed. Like, I like just going in there and just feeling it and flowing. So, you know, it just comes with it. You know, just we grapple so much at Team Alpha Male. So.
What about Conor?
I was stoked. I was excited. I mean, anybody's dream would be to be alongside. I mean, to be on the main card with, like, you know, All-Star Overeem and Mark Hunt and, like, you know, Woodley and Wonder Boy. I was like, dude, this is an amazing opportunity, and I was just embracing it to the fullest because I trained so hard for this, so hard. I'm gonna fucking enjoy it. Sorry if I cussed you.
Have you exceeded your own expectations as an MMA fighter?
Yeah, probably. My aim when I got signed was to have 10 fights. I'm 6-1 now, so I'll get the 10 fights, no problem. And as long as the body holds up, which it is, regardless of all the tape you see, then I'll keep going. You know, I'm 40 at the end of the year, but we're going okay. We're very smart with our training and our preparation, and yeah. So for as long as the body holds together and I'm fighting well, then I'll keep fighting.
And was there a moment when you were looking at Rashad and maybe at the beginning of the fight saying like, wow, I'm fighting Rashad Evans?
Yep. As soon as he walked in there and started coming in and then doing his thing when he's down on the ground, I'm like, holy shit, that's Rashad Evans right there. But that's what I want. That's what we want. When I got the matchup, it was exciting. You know, like you've got to, even though it's been a very nerve-wracking week, a very stressful week, being away from home and preparing for the fight, you've got to embrace moments like these. And I've shown again that I can get out there and put on a good, hard fight. And I think it was reasonably entertaining, the fight as well. So yeah, I'm really happy.
When Mark Hunt calls you a cheater before the fight, do you feel that takes away from the things and the accomplishments that you've had in the sport?
People know what I've done. People know what I've didn't do. You know, and again, I really feel positive. I'm an optimist. You know, I think his whole avenue was pretty negative from the get-go. And then I'm talking about the lawsuit towards UFC and complaining and clearly stated I would have never taken the same avenues. I would never, I don't know. I'm more a guy I would phone, make an appointment, I come in and I talk about what's going on and you come to a resolution. I thought his whole demeanor was pretty negative and yeah, I'm not gonna continue with that negativity. I keep it positive. I look at my own situation, I look at my own position. You know, I put in a lot of work for this fight. And again, at the same time, I respect Mark Hunt because he's a champion. And I love his fight style. We're okay outside of the octagon. But I didn't want to get drawn in that negativity.
It was much things that went through my mind. And I don't think everybody believed that I'm going to win this fight. I was an underdog. But I improved them different, you know. So I win this fight. I'm very happy. And also respect to Lando. You know, I respect all the guys that step into that octagon because it's not just walk in the park. And he take good shots, you know. Usually I knock my opponents out. But this dude, he take good punches tonight. So, you know, all glory to him also, you know, and he's still young. He have future in front of him, so yeah, I wish him the best luck in his future. And something that everyone they don't know about me, I'm a good singer too. Viva Las Vegas, ho ho ho.
Does it frustrate you or even mattered when Dana was in here earlier and said that he basically wasn't impressed and he's kind of frustrated and he said he doesn't know what's going to happen with y'all next?
Well, I mean, I want to see Dana get in there and fight Wonder Boy. Watch everybody else that walked in there. Watch Patrick Cote. Watch Robert Whitaker. Watch all these guys that thought they were just going to bulldoze him and they disrespected his style. I did the opposite. I embraced his style. I brought in the world champion currently, Avery Plowden, in his weight division. I brought in Sage Northcutt. I brought in Chris Bang. I brought in tons of guys in the actual sport fighting world, Raymond Daniels, and you can't disrespect that style. What happens is you think you got it figured out, and kicks and punches come from weird angles, and you find yourself without this, and you find yourself knocked out. So I know, you know, this is a sport where you guys love to see knockouts, you love to see the glory, you love to see blood, guys getting beat up, and then he find a way to come back, and then other guy, the Tito, I love it. I love watching it as well. But guess what? I love being the world champion.
Ariel Helwani in Buffalo, New York, alongside the reigning, defending UFC light heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier, Patrick Cote, Anthony Rumble Johnson, Gegard Mousasi, Chris Weidman, Will Brooks. we are not that far away from Endicott, New York. Their most famous son, Jon Jones, always said that he would rather fight here than at MSG, that this was a bigger deal for him. He is currently under suspension. You, of all people, his bitter rival is headlining with the belt that he once wore. Do you take any satisfaction out of this? Like, does this actually make you laugh inside?
I do. Like, I was like, well, because it's so ironic, right? To say that I would rather fight here than in Madison Square Garden. But you can't because you tested positive, or because you ran over some lady, or you did something, like you did something to make sure you cannot do the one thing you want to do. It's crazy. To me, it's like, wow. Like it's really not that hard to stay out of trouble.
I was told that you're such a big pro wrestling mark and such a big Bobby Roode mark that his glorious entrance song is actually your ringtone. Is that true?
It is my ringtone.
If I call you right now, will it play?
If you call me right now,
I want to try this. I want to try this.
Bobby Roode
So I'm gonna call Daniel
I didn't
Cormier's
know.
phone, and your phone's actually gonna play the glorious.
There it is.
There it is. Sing it.
No.
It's actually true. The biggest wrestling mark on the roster. His ringtone. That is unbelievable. Almost fitting.
Oh,
and prior to that, it was Nakamura, wasn't it?
It was Nakamura before, and I never thought anyone would replace Shinsuke until I saw Bobby Roode in all his gloriousness on Saturday night at NXT Orlando.
And you
he
switched.
was in a white robe, and it was just this choir. It was crazy. It's like the best entrance I've ever heard.
Nakamura debuted yesterday, you know that?
The fans are just singing the song the entire time. It's great. I love it.
How about that? That just made my day.
Bobby
You are a
Roode.
man.
You've probably been watching that for hours. You're like,
All over and over. I just stumped. I remember him from TNA back in the day. I didn't even know.
He's
and
the
then
man.
and then I found out you were a mark for him.
He's glorious.
Some people are surprised, including him, that you're the favorite.
Yeah, I am too.
You are. Why?
It's a champion versus a contender. How many times is that going to happen in anybody's life or career, where you see the underdog, where the contender is favorite?
Yeah. You don't think it's justified?
No.
Why?
I just because the champion.
Do you think you're better than him?
Of course, I believe I'm better than him, but that doesn't mean he doesn't deserve the respect that he should be getting. You know,
The odds makers don't look at it that way.
That's fine, but the odds makers, that's because there's money on the table for them, so that's why they say it that way. But for me, I'm like, even if I wasn't a fighter I don't gamble or bet at all. It's the champ.
Right.
Regardless of who is coming up, that person should be the underdog, regardless of how many people has been submitted or knocked out or whatever, how much hype is around him, it shouldn't matter. This guy's the champion, so I don't get how I'm the favorite, but thank you to everybody that loves me.
You don't always look forward to fights, but this one you're really looking forward to. Why is that?
Well, when you get screwed, you're gonna say that. So
How are you getting
after
screwed?
This fight, I'm gonna get paid, and I'm gonna beat him just because I need to get paid. I need to get paid, so I'm gonna beat him. They should pay me more. I'm worth more.
What do you want?
10 million.
Okay, per
I'm
fight.
Just kidding. No, I just need to fill my pockets, get a nice car. Don't you think so? Yeah, I'm gonna buy everyone a car
That's
now.
right.
Get more money. I should get paid more because I deserve it. Show me the money, bitches.
You're the only one I've heard label him a cheater. Why do you think everybody else is so hesitant to do that?
I don't know. I'm the champion. I can say whatever the hell I want. Maybe some people are afraid. I know what you did. We all know what you did. You know, 27 years old and you need sex pills? You got a real issue. I'm 38 and I don't have that problem. Huh? I don't even see me. Where am I? Maybe I should move so that you can see me in the poster. Hey, you know what? Look, let Rumble look as scary as he wants to. When he's fishing on his back on Saturday, he won't look so scary. You know, the guy is the most talented human being I've ever competed against. He's so good in every aspect of fighting. But for him to have done the things that he's done to limit the history that he was making, it's crazy. It's sad. But at the end of the day, I have to worry about myself and I have to worry about Anthony Johnson. You guys care about Jon Jones. We don't. He's a non-factor. This is a guy that hasn't fought for almost 2 years. And last time he fought over Vince St. Preux, it was just a shitty fight. It was almost as bad as me and Anderson Silva.
You're the only one I've heard label him.
Right before UFC 200,
Did they call you up? They inform you that you failed a drug test?
Yeah.
You've been talking about this damn sex pill. Did you have an inclination? Was there like any feeling at the pit of your stomach that you're like, yeah, did it even cross your mind that that could have been what it was?
No. I have been in the UFC for many years, many years, and I have taken sex pills several times throughout my adult life. Highly recommend it, guys. Fucking great.
So it's Thursday night here in Buffalo. We're lucky enough to shadow Chris Weidman, who in around 12 hours has to weigh in for his fight against Gegard Mousasi at UFC 210. His team is kind enough to allow us to film him. That's his mother. It's a real family affair here. His mother is here, his dad is here, his wife is here, his brother-in-law is here. I'd venture to guess not many UFC fighters bring this many family members to their final weight cut. So, as he just said, 191.4, he has to make 186. He says this is a very good one for him. We've got a little less than 12 hours to go. Let's see how it goes. For those wondering, this is how the friends and teammates pass the time while the star is actually cutting weight and working. We've got John Vellante, we've got a high school friend, and we've got Wonderboy Thompson's brother on the left. And that's Chris's wife mediating. Here we go, this is the race. Oh, Vellante coming out strong. Here comes Thompson. Oh, I think we got an injury there. Wow. First place. All they do is win. The Thompson family.
So we got the camera crew here. We got Eric Hawani's crew right here doing the weight cut, seeing what the weight cut is like, doing a little interview with Chris Weidman on how horrible the weight cut is.
He just did it.
Oh, wow, that was impressive.
Still got it.
We're talking about...
Hey, don't bother him with these guys.
He was watching in his parents' living room, hadn't met you yet, and he saw the victory and he said, you know, a guy from Long Island could do this, a schlub from Long Island, I could do it too.
I don't think that's his exact word.
How are you going to celebrate?
Huh?
The anniversary.
It's not about me.
All right.
Can I be here for my... I'm a giver.
10 years ago tomorrow, Friday.
It's good luck.
It's good luck.
If it was on the anniversary of the rematch, I'd be worried for you, but it's not. It's on the anniversary of when I take that.
Yeah, it's great. It's a beautiful thing. Here you go.
Yeah, man.
Let's see it.
It become real. I'm far from that dude. So I'm not. A loss is a loss, but those setbacks don't make me who I am. It doesn't make realize my potential. I know how good I am. I know I'm the best in the world. I know my coach will be the best in the world, and I'm going to be the best in the world again. And so what everybody else thinks of me, that if I was going to let that affect me, I'm not going to be the champion again. I'm not. If I wanted to fight some Joe Schmo guy who everybody thinks I'm going to beat, I think I would know what these guys are doing. I'm fighting some bum. How's that going to do anything for me? I want to beat the best guys in the world. A loss doesn't change my trajectory in my confidence or my mentality. A loss is part of life. You bounce back up. You learn from it. You become stronger. You don't become weaker. People who have the wrong mentality when they deal with loss. What? How many do you need?
I'm going to say...
Oh, you went right down, too. Yeah? You're in. He wasn't going to miss that moment. Everyone would have been pissed. 185.4, exactly.
So officially, what is it?
So I'm 0.6 under! Thank you, Jesus.
So it took less than 2 hours from when you started. You started at around 9:40. Chris, thank you for this.
No
I
problem.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you, man.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow. Thank you.
Seeing you. Good night.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Meeting Daniel Cormier, it appears as though they are getting a towel for him. It's 10:56 a.m. Eastern Time. Cormier calling for the towel. He has to make 205. There is no allowance here. It can't be 205.1, and they are using a digital scale. So he has to be 205 or under for this to be an official UFC light heavyweight title fight. Here he comes.
Cormier seems a little bit out of sorts, but he is about to step on the scale at officially 10:57. Here we go. Cormier weighs in at 206.2 pounds. Cormier weighs 206.2 pounds. That is not good enough for this to be a light heavyweight title fight. Cormier weighs in at 206.2 pounds. A distraught Daniel Cormier fails to make weight. Well, here comes Pearl Gonzalez, but everyone's still reeling. With 2 minutes to go, Daniel Cormier has weighed in at 206.2 pounds. He had to weigh in at 205 for this to be a light heavyweight title fight. And oh, by the way, there's 2 minutes to go, and there's no sign of Rumble Johnson. I mean, you cannot script this stuff. A shocking turn of events here in Buffalo. Daniel Cormier weighs in at 206.2 pounds. The light heavyweight champion has officially missed weight. And now at 10:59, we are told that Rumble Johnson is in the building. The rule has always been you gotta make weight within the 2-hour window. Here we are, it is 10:59, and still no sign of Rumble Johnson. I mean, you cannot script this kind of drama. An unbelievable turn of events for Rumble Johnson, for the UFC, for Daniel Cormier, and Cormier is back now. And now Daniel Cormier is back. Wow. And now Daniel Cormier is back and made weight. How did that happen? Unbelievable. An unbelievable turn of events here in Buffalo. Daniel Cormier returned 2 minutes later and made weight. I don't believe this. I do not believe what I have just seen. Daniel Cormier has made weight. And now here's Rumble Johnson at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Here's Rumble Johnson weighing in, sweating. 203.8 for Rumble Johnson. You cannot script this. This is an unbelievable turn of events. Just when you thought you have seen it all here at the official weigh-ins, Daniel Cormier showed up weighing 206.2 pounds, missed weight, distraught, his head down, walks out, comes back 2 minutes later and makes weight. And then at the buzzer, literally at the buzzer, Daniel Cormier and Rumble Johnson have made weight. This is unbelievable. Shocking. Dizzying. How did this happen? And just like that, everyone has made weight.
I mean, I don't think I wanted the world to know about my surgery and to be talked about like this. I have worked very hard to show how talented I am. I have a lot to bring to this division, and that's what I would like to be known for. So I'm, how do you say, all media is good media. So I'm going to ride this wave, and if this makes my fight bigger and gets my name out there, I'm going to ride it. I'm going to win tomorrow night, and I'm going to show the world that not only do I have breast implants, but I am a talented fighter.
At the end of the day, I'm fighting. The guy, I have a lot of respect for Weidman. I don't want to badmouth him, but if you want to play smart and take advantage of the rules, that's not my fault. I'm fighting. If you want to put your hands down so I cannot knee you or take it up, you're fighting. Don't try to take advantage of the rules. I'm fighting, and at the end of the day, it was legal. But that's what everyone says now. It's legal. It was legal. I don't make the rules. It was legal, and I felt he didn't want to continue. I think everyone saw that. He didn't want to continue. How is that my fault? I don't give a fuck. I won.
So at first he told me, I mean, pretty much for the whole time he was telling me it's an illegal knee. You have 5 minutes, take your time. So yeah, I thought I was gonna win because of the illegal knee. And then they looked at a replay. He left the octagon, went to replay, and they said it was an illegal knee, but in the state of New York, you're not allowed to look at there's no replays. So it's a crappy situation.
First of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone. The fight, I mean, I just went out there and fought. I knew I was going to get the finish. I didn't know how, but, you know, it's just another day for me. I train all the time. It's a lifestyle for me. You know, I fight every day. So, you know, it just feels like home. It's just another day.
Yeah, the division continues to get stronger. So many talented women in this division, and you know, I was telling her tonight, there's been times in my career where, you know, one night I was sitting there and these two women fought, and when the fight was over, I told one of my guys, I said, when she gets done showering and when she's ready, would you have her come sit out here? And she sat out there and watched the rest of the fights with me. It was Joanna Jędrzejczyk. First time I ever met Conor McGregor. I called Lorenzo and I said, man, I don't know if this guy can fight, but if he can even throw a punch, he's going to be a fucking rock star. You know, and I've had Ronda Rousey. I had a 45-minute meeting with her and decided to do women's MMA. And I feel pretty strongly about this one, too.
Hey, Anthony. Were you planning on retiring had you won the belt as well?
Yep.
Could you elaborate at all on what this lucrative other opportunity is?
It's just business, you know. I want to do something besides, you know, going to the gym every day, punching and kicking and rolling around with another dude. Shit get old. You know what I mean? I've been doing this for so long. I've been in sports since I was 8. It's just time to move on to something, you know, different. I won't say better, but just different. And no, I am not about to play football for the Rams, because everybody's hitting me up and saying some crazy stuff about I'm about to play for the Rams. Why would I go into another sport that is the same thing as this and you take all this impact and stuff? That's absolutely insane.
We trained for a improved version of Anthony Johnson, a guy that was going to be able to go longer, harder. We thought that eventually we could break him down, but it happened a little bit faster than I anticipated.
So did you see an improved version of him then, or did you see a version that was a lesser version than you saw the first time?
I don't know. It was a different fight. It was a completely different fight, because the first time I was actually engaging in the wrestling, whereas this time he was the one kind of wrestling me, which was a big surprise. So even in the first round, you know, we would have preferred not to take the head kick, but if you got a guy that's as big and explosive as Anthony and he is going to engage you on your terms, you kind of concede one round and hope that it's like a boxer with body punches. You know, you're just investing in the later rounds. So he conceded the first round. And in the second round, when he did the same thing, I could feel he wasn't as strong. And eventually I felt I was going to get him.
The big story is Anthony decided to try to out-wrestle Daniel Cormier. What are you thinking when you're seeing this unfold?
I think we, much like Daniel Cormier, were all puzzled, and even afterwards, Anthony Johnson pretty much said that it was, you know, as much of a shock to him. I mean, he was like, he almost said like he was just going in there to fight, and the wrestling was definitely a curious decision because Anthony Johnson looked very good in the first round rather, with his striking, and it seemed that Daniel Cormier was stunned more than anyone that wrestling would be a part of Anthony's game plan.
At the end of the day, you know, it's another fight. It's another title fight for myself. One of my coaches told me a great quote. Forget his name, but he says, you know, don't celebrate when you're in the end zone unless you don't plan on being there again. You know, I plan on being in this position for a long time in my career. And yeah, that's how I answer that.
You get a new belt every time
You know what? I'm getting pissed off about this. I saw Daniel Cormier had 3 damn belts. So Dana White, WME, IMG, whoever the owner is, who writes the checks, give me 8 damn belts, please. And I'll make 9. And then if I win this one, I'll take this one home. So I'm gonna start, you know, collecting these belts. All these guys, you know, who else has them? Michael Bisping has 2 belts. And I'm just a nice guy. I'm just a company man. Like, I come here, I fight, and they take the belt away from me. I'm like, all right, peace. Call me when you want me to come fight again. And that's it. But now I'm seeing these guys with 3 belts. I'm like, you know, I only got 1 belt, and I got to share it with 2 of my kids. So
when you win, do they put the belt around you, then they take it away?
yes.
Oh.
Shame on them, right?
Let them take it away? Come on.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's always been the rules. You know, ever since Anderson Silva and Matt Hughes, they were beating people up all the time. They kept getting belts and belts. And the last thing I heard is that they were selling them and shit. So the UFC was like, I was trying to give it away, but I'm not going to give mine away, you know. So if UFC wants to give me, you know, 9 belts, you know, if I'm successful on Saturday, you know, I'll take the belt home and then send me 8 more. Then I can, you know, do. One of the things I always wanted to do is Floyd Mayweather has a picture of himself with all his championship belts. And I think Andre Ward just did it too. And I think that'd be cool if I can recreate that same image to where it's like, hey, you know, mixed martial arts, you know, you got Conor holding up 2 belts, 2-weight champion. And I think it'd be cool if I was, you know, to be successful and I got to 11, have just 11 UFC titles, and then I'll have my amateur belts and be like, this is the road I took to get here.
I prepared for the fight to be that way. I've been training countless hours, you know, in the gym, out of the gym for this fight, and we went through all the situations and scenarios that could possibly happen, and we drilled them, and this was a scenario that, you know, that arose, and I had been working that, and you know, I executed a game plan.
Hello.
Hey, Rose.
Hi.
Congrats. That was amazing victory. Nice job.
Thank you.
What kind of, can you just kind of reiterate what kind of plan you have? I mean, are you ready for that to be the next one? If you need to take 1 or 2 in the meantime, is that what you're willing to do? What's the situation?
Yeah, I mean, there's no need to get too specific just right this second, but I changed all my like email and like computer passwords to ANU 2017, so that's kind of just what I have in mind, just that general goal. So sometime it's for the year it's over with, but it's I don't want to put no specific stamp on it just yet. Yeah, I didn't change all my passwords, but almost all of them. You know, you gotta tell yourself these things.
Now that you've accomplished the 10 straight successful defenses, can you put it into perspective what that means now that you've done something that only Anderson Silva has done and you have a chance to break that record now?
Yeah, it's definitely awesome. I think any champion in the UFC or any sport, you know, the Chicago Bulls, you know, when Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman were together, they wanted to try to get as many championships as they could. For me, you know, I got 10. I could take this belt home. And hopefully next time I fight, I can break it. And then I might go for 13 or 14. Why not set the bar high? You know, Usain Bolt, he's the fastest man on land. I'm the fastest man in mixed martial arts. So I'm going to keep on proving that and hope I can set it to like 15. Then I'll retire. Then I'm like, okay, Matt, I'm done. Brad, it's awesome. Let's just train together and keep on getting better and not put my body through, you know, the turmoil of cutting weight and the aches and bruises.
Is that belt yours? Are you going to be taking
I'm taking this motherfucker home.
So now you have 2 belts, right?
I got 2 belts.
Okay, what's the story in the 8 other belts that are owed to you?
You know what? Hopefully they send it to me. You know what? But I got my 2 belts, one for Tyron and one for Maverick, so they don't have to fight over one. And then you know what? I'll sit down with Dana White and talk to him. You know, like I said, I just want to capture that photo that Floyd Mayweather has done. Andre Ward just did it. You know, the champion, all my belts. You know, I'll even bring my amateur belts just to show the process I went through to get all these belts. I mean, 10 title defenses. That's sometimes when I take a step back and smell the rose, I'm like, damn, I've been a champion since 2012 September when I won it in Toronto, Canada, and I'm still here today.
Bummer. You know what happened behind the stage? He's a bitch. He's a bitch. He's a bitch ass.
The guy that had you crying.
Hey,
who was the bitch backstage?
Hey, he's a bitch ass.
You're hugging Cain Velasquez, crying on his shoulder. I'm the bitch.
Hey, he's a bitch, and he said something about my kid, so I smacked him in the face with a water bottle.
Oh, yeah, you threw
bitch
a water
ass
bottle at me.
nigga.
Yeah, you threw a water. Yeah.
You know what you are.
Now you're calling me an
Let me tell you what happened.
Real cool.
He said, he just said he's back, right? But is he back? Doesn't he have 2 more months of suspension?
Yeah, exactly.
Is he back?
You better love
really
those
back?
next 2 months, Daniel. You got 11 weeks to be the.
Are you back, junkie?
I'm back. I'm back. This junkie has you crying.
You're a knock.
This junkie whoops your ass, Daniel Cormier.
You're a junkie. Get out of here.
Am I back? There's 11 weeks. Yeah, I'm back.
You got 2 more months before you're actually back.
Yeah,
Get outta
exactly.
here.
And you better love these next 2 months, Daniel, which I'm sure you do. Love these next.
Hey, I love my life.
Do a photo shoot.
I'm good.
Make Christmas cards.
I'm good.
Make Christmas cards.
I'm good.
Make Christmas cards now because the belt's gonna be gone, Daniel.
Let's see it.
It's gonna be.
You're gonna have to show me.
I already did.
You're gonna have to show me.
I already did.
You know what's the beauty in me being the competitor I am? I forgot about that. I'm about to whip your punk ass.
Oh, you forgot about it.
I'm gonna beat your punk ass.
Did you guys forget?
I'm gonna beat your punk ass. Stop looking for them to save you.
Did the record?
They can't save you.
Does that one on your record forget?
Hey, could you guys please help him out? Did he? Shut up.
Yeah, what?
What's going on in your mind right now? Because you're just kind of staring off and not smiling or reacting to anything.
Well, so like I'm sitting here and like I see him. He's over there. But like, is he really gonna be in Anaheim? Is this guy really gonna go to the fight? Is this guy gonna mess this up again by doing steroids or snorting cocaine or sandblasting prostitutes? What's this guy gonna do? What's this guy gonna do to mess this up this time?
Prostitutes. I beat you after a weekend of cocaine.
And prostitutes. Hey,
Wait. I thought that first time was the first time you did cocaine.
I had two.
So wait, you had been doing cocaine.
I had two.
Okay, I get your super
I had
drugs.
2 great
Congratulations.
weekends. Back-to-back weekends. Cocaine one, your ass the next. It was great.
Daniel Cormier, by all accounts, is the champion. You seem very confident, as well you should be.
He has the belt. He's not the champion.
Just a moment, sir.
Who are you to say? Hey, who is John? John, who are you to say? Who are you to say who's the champion? You're some guy that doesn't even fight. You're damn near retired, son. You're barely coming back. How are you going to tell somebody something? You're a retired man. Shut your ass up. Let the guy ask his question. Proceed, sir.
Like I said, I hope I'm inside
Proceed,
a brawl
sir.
here.
I'm going to carry him through this card. He's going to headline because of me. After that, he's going back to the prelims. But I just hope he shows up because I know his mama got tickets. So
Shut the fuck up about, hey, don't talk about my mom for one. Don't you ever talk about my mom. Don't you ever talk about my fucking mom. Don't you ever talk about my fucking mom.
Mama, dad,
Might want to get in the
whatever,
middle.
like whatever you want to call it.
I'm going to smack the fuck out of you right now. Don't you ever talk about my mom.
Yeah,
Don't you ever
yeah,
talk about
yeah. What's good?
Ariel Helwani in Dallas, Texas for UFC 211 alongside Frankie Edgar, the strawweight champion, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Damian Maia, Jorge Masvidal, the reigning defending UFC heavyweight champion Stipe Miocic, Dustin Poirier, Yair Rodriguez. We just saw you square off with Jessica, and it wasn't your usual intimidating square off. It was a very friendly square off. Why?
We respect each other. We know each other for a long time. I heard she said few things during the interviews that I have weak chin, that she's going to knock me out. Of course, everyone can dream big, and it's good. I expect good fight, and I expect the best Jessica we have ever seen before, on Saturday at the arena at the UFC 211. But there is not a bad blood between us two, and it's all about the emotions, I was preparing for this fight very long time, and I'm full of respect to Jessica, and that's the thing. We are going to put on great show, I'm in good mood. I feel strong physically, mentally, and you are going to see better Joanna than in my last fight. That's the thing.
For the record, though, have you been told, you or your management, that if you win, no ifs, ands, or buts, you get that title shot?
No, they didn't say nothing, and
how would you react if you didn't get it?
I don't know. I don't wanna have this thing on my mind right now.
Okay.
I just wanna go there, and it's so intense when you're fighting. It's so hard that it's like you go into the last thing of your life. You're gonna do the last thing of your life, and so you really, even if I still repeating that I wanna keep the focus. That's the truth. You don't think about anything else. You just think about the fight.
Will you get on the microphone after the fight and say something? Because that tends to work.
Oh yeah, I will.
You have something planned?
Oh yes.
Can you give us a hint?
Yeah, no, it's about the title.
Yeah.
But first of all, I need to win Saturday, and that's the biggest test right now.
Who is the most dodge fighter? Who's the guy that you've called the most and they've said no to or just hung up on, huh? And I'm not just talking about the fights that got signed and then later on got broken up. I'm talking about backstage, which I won't even mention those hoes' names. But I'm the dude that gets denied the most. Decline, every time.
Why do you think that is?
Because I can fight, man, and I'm mean, and I'm good everywhere. You don't look at me fight and go, oh, man, but if I do this, then I'll have an upper hand. No, because I'm good everywhere. So it's going to be a fight no matter what. It's going to be a testament of my will versus somebody else's will every time. And I got more will than everybody.
And here's the other thing I have to talk to you about. The last time we spoke, we made a little bit of news. You were unhappy. I never heard you like this before, right? You said
You want to come in,
What?
you make me feel like I'm like this hormonal.
No,
teen
but
right
you-
now. You tell me
there's
like
a lot
one
of
minute-
emotion.
you tell me 1 minute here, and you're here, you're the most obnoxious person of all time. Then you're mad about this. I'm like, what do you want me to do?
listen. You're somewhat stoic, so anytime you give us an inch, it's a big deal.
You take it like 30 miles.
Well, it's a big deal. You're the baddest man on the planet, right?
Yeah.
You were unhappy. You said
It's
that
all
they,
good.
they
I'm
mistook your
fine.
kind. How do you feel now? How are things?
I'm fighting, aren't I?
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
But are you under duress a little bit? Like, do you want to clear up things afterwards?
It's all good. We're good. On the next
Now
fight.
we're back to one-word answers. Were you surprised when they gave you Eddie? This is a big. I mean, it's a high-profile fight, right? What was your reaction?
Well, I was gonna chill out for a little bit and hang out with my daughter and stuff, and then I told him I was gonna come back a few months later, unless they had a big fight for me, and then they ended up coming up with Eddie's name, and I was like, let's go, I'll fight whenever. This is a great opportunity for me. You know, he's one fight removed from being the world champion, like you said. I go out there and finesse Eddie Alvarez on Saturday night. It shows the world the caliber of fighter I am.
There's a massive jump in talent from BJ Penn in 2017 to Frankie Edgar, just a few months apart. And the story is that you asked for Frankie Edgar. Why would you ask for Frankie at this stage of your career?
Actually, it wasn't me. I didn't ask for him directly. You know, it was my coach, my team, my management team that asked for Frankie. And whenever they told me, what do you think about Frankie? I mean, if I'm gonna fight any of the top 5 division, it doesn't really matter who is in front of me. It can be Cub Swanson, it can be Jeremy Stevens, it can be whichever of those guys. Anyone is tough. Anyone is gonna be tough at this. But Frankie, for me, I think Frankie is the toughest one. Why should I pick the easier one? Like that I think, you know, for me, this is gonna be a tough proof. I'm putting myself in that toughness, you know. If I can beat him, you know, and then that I'm gonna be like right away knocking that door for the title shot. I know then this fight is gonna put me just right there for the title shot. I wanna go for that title shot. This is, if not, what I'm here for, right. You know, that's because.
And finally, his mother had a dream, Yair's mother, that he's going to flying knee KO you in the first round. And so I'm wondering if your mother had a dream about the fight, and if so, what was it? What is the prediction?
My mother actually had a premonition or a dream when I was 24 that I was going to be a doctor, and we all got to disappoint our parents sometime or another.
That's a very good answer.
It looks so good on me. It looks so good on me.
The crowd was expected to be very pro Yair Rodriguez, but it seemed like it was pretty 50-50 with Frankie Edgar's fans and fans of Yair Rodriguez. Were you able to kind of pick up on that throughout the fight?
Yeah, you know, a lot of times they'll come in screaming for someone else, but I don't know. People like screaming Frankie, so I usually hear that by the end of the fight.
What I learned lately in my life is that, don't get so stressed with things that I don't have control. So, once I won against, I remember Gunnar Nelson. They invited me to go to watch Lawler and Condit in that time, and I was supposed to be the next, and they were recording me. I was in the front row, but then things changed, and okay, then I came and won against Matt Brown, and they said, okay, now we're gonna fight, and then no, let's fight Condit. Then I won against Condit, the former interim champion, in a very good way. And I said, okay, now we're gonna fight. And no, and finally I got this one, but I don't know, I just relax and I not put this pressure in myself anymore. And I have achieved so many good things in my life and in my career that I know I'm gonna fight for the title right now, but I'm not like crazy about that. I wanna fight for the title. I'm gonna get the title. But I'm not like, I'm going to sign this right now. I just wait, talk to Dan and talk to the UFC and, do the things the way we need to do.
When I became a UFC fighter, I was like, oh man, I've got a big chance. I cannot screw it up. So I put on great performance with every fight. And the thing is, like, when I became a champion, my life got changed, I'm not talking about the money-wise or material things. I'm just happy, because I feel like I was born to be a champion, to be an athlete, and I'm happy to put on great work and make people happy.
I'm a champ. The reason why I'm a champ, I've worked my ass off to get where I'm at. If it wasn't for my coaches, my wife, my family, my teammates, my friends, just everyone backing me up, my city, having my back, I wouldn't be where I'm at. It's a Midwest thing. You know how it is.
Vai chegando a hora do Rei do Rio fazer show pra gente aqui, dar uma apresentação pouquinho do que ele é capaz, que a gente já sabe muito bem, né? Ele, José Aldo, aqui pra gente. Cadê José Aldo?
Of the tropical area, and it reminds me of home. And I love it. I love the acai here. I eat it every day. So glad I'm motorweight. I eat acai every day now.
What's your favorite toppings to go to with the acai?
I just recently had one, and they grinded like the cashews in it. I was like, dang, that was good, because I would just eat it regular, and now with the cashews, the texture, whew, I think I'm on like bowl 10 already. For real, like I eat acai like every day since I've been here.
You've been in phenomenal shape. What are the big changes that you've done in diet and all that?
A lot of things changed. I hired a conditioning coach. Like he's a high-level conditioning coach. He trains Olympic athletes, and I think that's the thing that it's gonna make a lot of difference in the fight. You know, I've been working a lot in my cardio. I've been working a lot in my shape, and I think I got there now.
That the fans keep saying, oh, but they both lost to Conor McGregor. This belt is Conor McGregor's. Does it bother you?
It doesn't bother me at all. Conor McGregor should be proud. Like, listen to this. He should be proud. He's a 2015 champion, you know? Walk around with your belt, you know? Guess what? DJ got 11 belts. He should walk around every single belt. You know, I go back to basketball. LeBron James got 3 rings. What you gonna tell him? You're gonna tell him, oh, you can't walk around with your 3 rings? Why? He deserved the damn thing. Conor McGregor is a champion in 2015. Get that one thing straight. What year are we in today? What year? 2017. This is a new champ. You gotta play to be the champ. You gotta play, and he's not playing. You know, just like I'm gonna go back to LeBron James. Then imagine if LeBron James then just won last year against Golden State. They won the finals against Golden State. They're playing Golden State again. Imagine LeBron came out and be like, guys, we're not playing the final this year. We beat them last year. We're the champs. In what sport does that work? Does that work in soccer? Imagine the soccer champs if they're rematching for the final cup. They'd be like, we beat you last year. We don't need to beat you. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You guys, these people make no sense. These fans is freaking, it's crazy.
Oh, man, I'm on like bowl 15, man. I'm trying to get to bowl 20 before I leave. I love outside.
That's the best part of being a welterweight now.
Yes, eating. Hawaiians love to eat, man. Go ask Max, you can sit over here, how much he weighs.
So you gonna be middleweight next time?
Nah. I mean, I fought at 205 and 185, but 170 is definitely my weight.
Last week I saw Mark Zuckerberg talking at Harvard. If you haven't watched it, it's really worth the watch. Everyone's a failure. Beyonce, before she became a hit maker, she failed. Everyone's got failures. Failure is actually just a step to victory. But unfortunately, everyone's just used that everything is fast. And unfortunately, not everything works like Snapchat or Instagram or Twitter. There are certain things that take time. And you have to have patience and confidence and know that everything's going to work out. Like Henry Ford said, if you believe that you can or that you can't, you're right in both ways. So you got to be conscious about that. I consider myself the best fighter in the division, but I think a few things were missing that I needed to do to be able to perform well inside of the octagon. And that's why I decided to change everything in my life. It was not easy. It has not been easy to leave my comfort zone. 10 years living in Rio. I went abroad alone. I have nobody there. I'm training with different trainers, different people. It's very, very tough, but I got to a point in my career where I felt that I needed to do that to be able to improve and to become the fighter that I want to be, that I desire to be.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. King Max is here, guys. Blessed era. Welcome. We can now take questions. No, I don't want money fights, Dana White told me, we had a meeting before, and he said, this is big game hunting. The bigger the game you bring in to the table, the more bigger paychecks you get. And I think all of those, he's a silverback gorilla, now I want my paycheck, I don't want money fights. I want to get paid. And like I said, I want to defend my throne, I'm going to be here for a long time. And why not do it in Hawaii? Who in here doesn't want to go to Hawaii? Raise your hand. Or just stand up and actually, if you don't want to go to Hawaii, just stand up and leave. I don't want to take questions from you. Right now, to be honest, all I got on my mind right now is your guys' aside, man. Real's aside is for real. And I want some aside with cashew nuts and powdered milk, big polies, You a real one. We've been eating aside a whole week over there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys. Big parties tomorrow. Big aside party.
Ariel Helwani in New York City, standing alongside the reigning, defending Bellator light heavyweight champion, Mr. Wonderful Phil Davis, Ryan Bader, Shinzo Machida, very famous boxing promoter, Leeuw DeBella, young James Gallagher, Haim Ghazali, name and Gracie, undefeated boxing sensation, Heather Hardy, Ariel Helwani.
Ariel Helwani.
In New York City.
New York City.
Your kind of town.
No. I'm a gangster. What would I do in New York? This place is filthy. I wouldn't run a dice game on the street here if I could. I would be leaving New York after I take on the surest win in all of New York, Vandalay. So, well, aside from the Knicks, of course.
Wow, you went there?
I did.
The arms are looking good, by the way.
Do they look good? That's clean,
Yeah.
but, you know.
Basically.
Fairly.
Thank you, Chael.
You're welcome, Aaron. And you mean that. You know, a lot of people say
No,
thank you
I do.
like as a goodbye, as a ceremonial, the interview's over. But you really mean it.
I sincerely
You're
appreciate your
happy
time.
to be here with me.
Absolutely.
Huh?
We've
You
come a
really
long
mean that,
way.
don't you? We have come a long way. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
This
Same
is
to
a
you.
big deal. This is a big deal. Ariel Helwani standing next to Chael Sonnen.
At a Bellator event.
You've made it.
I've made it.
How's Oliver? He's asking about
He's
me?
great, yes.
I like to show you all the time that I know the young man.
But you only mentioned one, and I have three now.
I know, and that embarrasses me. But
Yeah.
your mother only gives me credit when I bring
She
up
does.
Oliver.
She loves
so
it.
I say hello to Oliver and to you, Mama.
Why is there a reluctance to push women's boxing, to put them in the main event?
You got to
we've
ask
seen?
the television networks. You got to ask.
So they decide ultimately who's
what they're going to buy.
Yeah.
I have no right to put a women's fight to television.
Right. Do you think we'll ever get to?
Showtime's beginning to open their door a little bit more, and I'm a little bit. I have some confidence that by the end of 2017, I might be able to get an all-female card on Showtime.
How many
But I hope
females?
Steven Espinosa and the Showtime people are watching this.
Yes.
I hope they're going to watch Spike on Saturday night. I think this could help Heather, this kind of exposure.
Sure.
I mean, there are other women fighters that deserve it, also, that have worked really, really hard.
For me to switch over is because there really isn't a lot of opportunities for women. I'm a 2-division champion, 20-0, selling close to $40,000 in tickets myself for my fights, and I'm finding trouble getting television time because networks don't want to televise female fights.
It's going to be a great fight for light heavyweight gold, the rematch. Ryan Darth Bader versus the champion, Phil, Mr. Wonderful Davis. They'll kick it off for the pay-per-view portion of our show. The welterweight world title on the line. Lawrence Larkin versus Douglas Lima. 155, it's Zach Freeman versus Aaron Hiko, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up for the heavyweights. Matt Meathead Mitrione versus the last emperor, Fedor Emelianenko. $205.8 for the American gangster, Chael Sonnen. About it, man.
Vandalay is the past, I am the future, and tomorrow I will give you a present. And I didn't come to this disgusting city to beat Vandalay. I came here to beat him down.
And his opponent, fighting out of Curitiba, Brazil. Please welcome the axe murderer, Vanderlei Silva. $205.8 for Vanderlei Silva. Let's give it up for him. Our main event, the American gangster, Chael Sonnen versus the axe murderer, Vanderlei Silva.
And Chuck, like I said, less than 24 hours away. This is a big moment for not only the company, but for Viacom. Scott Coker, promoter of 3 decades, finally getting to run a show at Madison Square Garden. And like I said, here we are, just a few hours away. Do you feel a buzz in the city? Well, the most important week in Bellator's history is officially in the books. As you can see, they're tearing things down around us here at Madison Square Garden. But boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about here on the MMAfighting.com wrap-up show. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ariel Helwani. It's like 3 a.m. Eastern time, Sunday morning. That is the man in the hat, Chuck Mindenhall. Bellator NYC is done. And where to begin? Should we just go in order, or should we just talk about the crazy upsets? Where do you want to start, Chuck?
I mean, you could start anywhere. This is that kind of card. Go in order. Why not?
Okay.
We'll bring order to it if since it.
I thought this guy was going to take my head off with that pull. It was that kind of night.
What's up, guys? Everyone ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I never got a shot to fight for a belt in any organization. You know, I've had these accolades in wrestling and even in football, collegiate wrestling. Then I go into mixed martial arts and I fight in these local shows, but I only fight one time and move on to the next one. I win the Ultimate Fighter, then go into UFC, never got an opportunity there. So to come in here, my first fight, you know, there's definitely a little, you know, fighting in a different promotion, your first fight. I wouldn't say there's kind of jitters, but you're new to the whole thing and you go and you don't know what to expect. I've never stepped foot in a Bellator cage before. I didn't know what the canvas felt like. I didn't know a lot of things. And so to be able to come out here and beat a top 2, top 3 guy in the world, you know, he's an awkward guy. He's hard to fight. That's why he wins way more than he loses here, and he was a champion, you know. And so to take this away, though, it's just a lifetime of work.
I'm hungry. I'm going back to the gym. I'm not thinking about anything else but fixing my mistakes from tonight. I'm moving on with my career. I'm young. I've got time. I've got everything. I've got the mindset. I've got the skill set. I've got the youth. I've got everything to be the greatest fighter of all time, and that's exactly what I'm going to be.
I'm so happy right now. I didn't even care that I have stitches in my face. I'm so happy right now.
Here's the deal. You shake hands after the sport. Generally, you shake hands before the sport, but that's optional. We elected not to do it. After it's done, procedure-wise, you shake hands or you don't, but you have that split moment to decide. He decided not to. In fact, he shoved me. So there it is. We don't have to get along. I mean, my life will be just fine not getting along with Wanderlei Silva. I got to keep fighting Wanderlei Silva. It's hard to say, too. I mean, let's just be real fair here. He's been sidelined for a while. I had that same experience with Tito. It hurt so bad to lose to Tito. I could just never envision it happening. And then when it happens, you're faced with this reality of, oh, my God, I just lost to this guy that sucks. I suck. So now I pass that to Wanderlei. I was the worst fighter in Bellator when I got up this sport. Oh, he is now. I got that monkey off my back. So.
And what about Tito? I mean, is it poor taste to do what he was doing to you before?
Oh, it's terribly rude. I don't know if you saw it, Errol.
Yes, I saw.
I looked over to Tito, made eye contact with him. He was right there at the cage. And I made eye contact. I thought he was going to give me like a thumbs up. We got a history together. I've known him since college. We've competed a couple times. And he gives me the bird. He's flipping me off. And then he starts yelling. Profanity, for one, which a little lowbrow to use profanity in any environment. But he's yelling profanity at me. He's telling me you're going to get your ass kicked. I was like, Tito, right now I'm in the ring. I've known you 20 years. I'm in the ring. Like, this is the time you build a guy up. You're going to kick me right now? And on top of it, Tito, I'm a rough guy, man. I'll come over there and whip your ass in that little fake suit you got. I mean, he's probably drunk and on drugs. You know, the guy's a drug addict. He's a total scumbag.
Ariel Helwani in Las Vegas for UFC 213 alongside Travis Brown, Jim Miller, the reigning defending UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion Amanda Nunes, the star of the show, Ray the Translator. Yo Romero is also here. Vai Cavallo himself, Fabricio Verdum.
I got him.
I never tapped.
I had you.
I never tapped.
You never tapped?
Where are you running off to? Come talk to me right here.
No.
Ariel Helwani here at UFC 213 alongside Alistair Overeem. And then before, you walked in my shot. You walked in the middle of my camera shot.
Did that.
That was very rude.
Okay, where's your proof?
Actually, we have it on camera. we were filming. Or do you feel like he's on the way down? As someone walks right through it. Alistair, for God's sakes, I'm doing an interview and you walk right through.
Sure, yeah. Chain of command here. You know it. There's chain of command.
How rude is this guy?
Yeah, you know.
I feel like a lot of these guys think that in order to make money, they have to, create an act. I want to be straight up. Facts are facts. Nobody's infallible. I can be knocked out. Duh. It's what the sport is. We punch each other in the face. I take too much damage. Okay, I haven't taken a hard enough punch because I'm 17-0 with 14 knockouts. I've broken every single person I've fought. Melvin Gillard went to a split decision with me. He left the third round in a wheelchair. He did not walk to the back. He left in a wheelchair. You cannot make it past it. If you don't knock me out, you're not going to make it past the third round with me.
I think we're going to get in there, and I think we're going to trade some punches, and then he's going to start to wrestle, if he doesn't wrestle right from the start.
When's the wedding, by the way?
It'll be soon. I want to give it away, you know.
I didn't get my invitation yet.
Yeah.
Neither did I get to save the day.
Good luck with that.
Any chance?
Yeah.
Walk down the aisle?
Probably not.
No, okay.
No, yeah.
Okay, and finally, how lucky are you? UFC 200, 207 against Ronda Rousey. Now, this one, International Fight Week main event. This is amazing. 3 in a row for you. This is big time stuff.
Yeah, this is amazing. See, I didn't even want to. I can care about nobody.
Right.
People can talk about me, but the things the life putting me through is amazing. Nobody can take that, and then nobody can change. You know, when I feel like my future is there. Nobody can change. You know, and only I live in the moment, and everything's perfect.
tools for my raw power move. Knock 19 for Cassie, flower move. 119 for Cassie, flower move. Stacked up my tools for my sitting back,
So after the weigh-in yesterday, she weighed in, she made weight. Then leading up to the ceremonial weigh-ins, I got a call that she wasn't feeling well. And it was questionable whether she was going to show up to the ceremonials because the doctor needed to see her and, you know, they needed to find out what was going on with her. So she does them. Everything's good. This morning I wake up and I hear that she's not feeling well again and she wants to, no, she's not feeling well again and she's probably not going to fight. So I asked the doctors what's wrong with her. She was medically cleared. She was physically okay. They found nothing wrong with her. But she didn't feel right.
On to the next one. This is awesome. That was cool. But I have something to prove here. I got to be the best. I've been saying I'm the best in the world for a long time. So, you know, I will have another fight. Got to start preparing now. Everybody in this league started somewhere else. Everybody out there is going to say, you know, you're not good enough. You just got to take it one at a time and prove everybody wrong. Prove everybody that believed in you right. So that's what I was here for.
No, Bisping
was
me tiró a mí la bandera. Bis- Mr. Bisping rompió la bandera y me la tiró a mí. A la reja. A la reja. Come on, man. Mr. Bisping ripped up the Cuban flag and threw it at Romero at the fence where Romero was at.
How do you feel about that?
¿Cómo te sientes con eso? ¿Tienes bandera? Do you have a flag?
Yes.
¿Tú la amas? Do you love it?
Yes.
¿Das la vida por tu bandera? Would you give your life for your flag? ¿Por tu country? It's your country. Es lo mismo. Same.
So do you feel like you crossed the line?
Siente que cruzó la línea.
happened today?
Really, I'm very upset about what has happened, and I couldn't believe till the very last moment that it's happening with me, and more I am upset because of all fans around the world. They was expecting this fight, they was waiting for this fight, and to know this notice like in just a few hours before the fight, it's something that I would not expect that it will happen with me one time.
How did you find out? In the first round, he kicked my leg pretty hard. You know, he and that kind of put a I don't know what a blocker in the way of my game plan. And you know, the game plan was always to pepper him, to hurt him, to poke him away, and then in the later rounds start to capitalise on that constant damage. But it put my game plan back a little bit for the first 2 rounds. I had to concede that, and I had to play it a bit safer than usual. But you know, in the end, it came around. Great cornering from my team. They really got me through this one.
Ariel Helwani in Anaheim, California, alongside Donald Cerrone, Henan Barrow, Jason Knight, Robbie Lawler, the now former Invicta Bantamweight champion Tanya Evinger, Jimmy Manuwa, Volkan Ozdemir. Daniel Cormier, how are you?
I'm good. Hanging out. Kind of seems like deja vu a little bit.
Yes.
You know? We're doing it again.
Do you truly believe that when he fought you the first time he was on steroids?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Is it a look thing, a physical thing, a feeling? Is it... What makes you feel that?
So, physically there were some differences, but also logically there were differences. Medically, there were differences. There were a lot of reasons as to why it point to him doing stuff like that. I mean, I've explained it time and time again, Ariel, a guy that will do cocaine a month before the biggest fight of his career at the time. Nuts. Even when he got caught with Rumble Johnson, there's a meme out there. It says the Jon Jones starter pack. It's a Magnum condom, some fucking Cheetos, a weed pipe, and like a Coca-Cola Classic. Right? This was 3 weeks before he fought Rumble. He even had openly admitted that he was driving home and he was a little bit hungover. So if you're going to do things to sabotage yourself, why wouldn't he do things to enhance himself? You know, he tested positive for those 2 things. His brother tested positive for the same 2 things, the same exact time. There are just so many reasons to believe that he had been cheating. So, yeah, I believe he's 3-0 in the UFC, and he's earned his title shot by beating Gusmao, Bonner, and Vincent Cruz. And I'm sorry to Stephan Bonner. I was just in the moment. I kind of forgot his name, Stephan Bonner. I'm so sorry. I know exactly who Stephan Bonner is.
Okay, so we were facing off yesterday, and I come up in his face, and he says absolutely nothing. Where normally he's always saying something to me. This time, he said absolutely nothing. And he's just looking at me, and I look him down. I look up at him. Yeah, he said nothing. He had nothing to say. And then so I didn't have my belt on me, which was a slip up on my side, but I should have had my belt on me. But I didn't want to take a whole bunch of pictures with me without the belt. He got the belt, so I said I'm not even going to stand up here and take these pictures. So as I started to walk away, then he pretended like he was coming after me. What a coward-ass move, right? You get no points for following a man who can't see you. It's not like he chased me. He's like, and then Dana like did like this, like stop, guy. Like, come on, you're making yourself look silly, and he just stops. It's hysterical. How do you see doubt in my eyes? You know, it's like I think Daniel tries to create realities that aren't true, and I don't know.
I think I'm just somebody that's crazy enough to take fights that other people aren't. Obviously, I win those fights usually. I plan on winning this fight, and I think that it's just one of them things, that the role I play.
Do you think they don't want you to win?
I don't know who they want to win. I don't know who they hate more, me or her.
What about his style do you admire?
All that he doesn't go out there to try and like secure a win. He goes out there to fucking destroy, you know? It's always been like that. He's a fighter's fighter. He's one of the last dying breeds, man. And fight's going to be just like that. They're going to talk about this fight for a long time.
So this is the question. Is Robbie Lawler a closet John Cena fan?
Freaking Mo.
That is the word on the street. In fact,
He's got
he has sent me this picture.
Yeah, but he cut out another person.
What happened? What is this? He says you walk around with the jersey and the The wristbands, is that true? John, can you do the "You Can't See Me" for us?
No,
Why not?
Mo is great, and whatever.
All right. Well, welcome back. Appreciate it. And don't be ashamed about the Cena stuff. There's nothing wrong. He's a great athlete, very successful. He does the,
Yeah, he does his thing.
Yeah.
Mo.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Well done, Robbie. I appreciate it. So the talk seems to be that if he wins this fight, he could get the next title shot. What's at stake for you here? Have you been told the same?
No, I did not, but also I understand because I'm pretty new in the UFC. But since Jimmy is supposed to get the title shot after that fight, what I'm going to is like I'm going to try to finish him really badly so I can get that shot too.
I know my opponent came out here to sign some autographs, but he didn't work for you guys. I'll work, and I'll sign your autograph. Except for the boy that wore his daughter's belt today. Look at his belt. I'm not signing shit for a kid with his daughter's belt. Who else want to boo? Let's go. Keep it coming. Who else want to boo? I'll escort your ass right out of here. He signed for 30 minutes. I'll sign every one of your autographs. Except for the guy that wore his daughter's belt today. I think I may want him to leave. Should he leave? Get his ass out of here. Get him out of here. We don't want to see him anymore.
At the end of the day, that's what happened when fighters start looking too far down the road. You get your ass whooped. You think about George St. Pierre. I got Damian Maia, who's on a 7-fight win streak. Everybody who has a great answer, just don't let him take you down. He still takes him down and get on their back and beats them. So with that said, it's not in stone. I've never seen a bout agreement. George St. Pierre hasn't communicated to me or my management team that we're fighting next. So with that said, in victory over Damian Maia, that opened up doors for everything else. In defeat, there's no George St. Pierre, there's no Nick Diaz, there's no other fight after that. So for all you guys, I really don't want to talk about George. George knows where the fuck I'm at. If he wanted to fight me, Damian Maia would have never been in this spot. It would have been me and George. So I think he's playing games. He was on a podcast earlier this week talking to Bisping about fighting Bisping. So let me focus on Damian Maia. Let's give him the respect that he deserves. He's a world-class fighter. Though the fans don't appreciate jiu-jitsu, even though it's built the UFC, I respect jiu-jitsu. I respect what he brings to the table. I don't want to talk about Conor, Floyd, or fucking George St. Pierre. I'm just being real.
How long do you think I've been doing steroids?
Well, you're probably you've earned a title fight, so I imagine you're about 3-0 in the UFC, so those first few fights. Ovent St. Preux, Gusmao, and Forrest Bonner, or whatever his name is. What's that guy's name that he beat? Stephan Bonner. Stephan Bonner. Those 3 fights is when you didn't do steroids. But everything else in the middle is eliminated.
When I started powerlifting 4 days a week, and I started, with these chicken-ass legs with my bad genetics, I started deadlifting 600 pounds, squatting 500 pounds. USADA was in full effect. So how did I get away with that?
You did. I'm not saying you did it last year versus Ovent St. Preux. You were clean last year when you fought Ovent St. Preux.
When I was the biggest ever.
That's why you look like you look.
How do I look?
You're a bum. That's why you looked like a bum last time.
How do I look, DC?
Hey, that's all just. Hey, listen, that's all just for show. That's all just for show. I don't care about that.
Who looks like a junkie here today?
That's just all for show.
Look at
you
this
can
guy's
show
face.
your 6-pack.
Who looks like a junkie
You
here
can just
today?
show your 6-pack. That's fine. That's all
Who
for
looks
show.
like a junkie here today?
I look like a. I'm
you look
not.
like a crackhead with a suit on.
Was that?
You look like a crackhead with a suit on.
I could look like a crackhead with a suit on, but I've never been a crackhead like you do. So you can say I look like one, but I've never been one. I've never been one.
I think the UFC belt coming in perfect time. I think I'm in prime of my career. In the fight, I feel very relaxed, and then before I throw like 50 punches and touching my opponent like 30 times, but now I see more and I see where I can punch, sweep the punch too, and I feel great. I feel really happy, and be part of this. This is ended one chapter in my career, and then you're gonna begin the new things in my career. I'm really happy. Very blessed.
Shit, I thought it was a great performance. You got a guy on a 7-fight win streak. He's taking out all 7 opponents, world-class guys, got on their back, submitted them. Very resilient, very persistent on his attack. I was able to go out there and stop everything. How many takedowns did he try?
I think we saw 24 at one point.
24 tried, 24 denied. So I think we need to look at the different stats. This is my 4th title fight in 12 months. He shot 24 times. And thinking of how many different top-class welterweights he would have been able to put on the ground. He was not able to do any of that on me. I felt good. I felt my conditioning was great. We accepted this fight 4 weeks ago. And, man, I felt amazing. Sometimes I think those shorter camps are better. So me and my coaches were happy. I know our fans, they want to see blood. They want to see cuts. They want to see a back-and-forth exchange. You also have to recognize that I'm fighting specialists. Stephen Thompson, I'm not going to sit out there and try to out-spin kick him. I'm not going to try to take down Damian Maia and prove that, hey, it's time for me to get a black belt. The brown belt's going to take you down and go for the submission. So I felt like it was a very tactical fight. I felt like I did everything, stuck to the game plan, and I walk around with my head up, man, and the belt still around my waist.
And I guess we're seeing reports that you've been saying in some other interviews backstage that GSP, who you said was next in line for this winner, is no longer next in line. He's fighting Michael Bisping.
Yep.
Is that definitive?
Yep. There you go.
Do we have a date set?
Because I know Michael Bisping will fight. Michael Bisping will show up and he will fight. So, yeah, I'm going to give it to him.
Do we have a date set for that yet?
No.
I've always felt like he's a pretty classy guy. Guy to be respected. Stand-up champion, model champion. But unfortunately, I came into this game at a young age with big ideas. And despite how good of a person he is, there's no mercy in combat. And I have to do what I have to do. All right, it's either me or him. And so, what happened. But he should be respected. And I don't think he should ever be questioned whether he was a true champion or not in my absence. He fought 2 of the toughest guys in the division. He won those fights, and he carries himself like a champion. So I think that should be recognized.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mayweather versus McGregor, Saturday, August 26th at the MGM T-Mobile Arena on Showtime pay-per-view. This afternoon was indeed the very first time these two have met, the very first time they are going face-to-face. You don't want to miss the action once again, Saturday, August 26th, MGM T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Showtime pay-per-view. For being part of this international press tour. It continues tomorrow in Toronto, on Thursday in New York City at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and on Friday we go across the pond to London, SEE Arena, Wembley. Live coverage for all of our press conferences, Showtime Sports YouTube channel, Showtime Boxing Facebook page, CBSSports.com, and UFC.com.
Ariel Helwani in Las Vegas at the UFC headquarters. We just wrapped up the Conor McGregor media workout, and we're being joined by the great Ido Portal, two of Conor's very good friends, including one of his cornermen, Artem Lobov, and of course that's Dylan Dennis. The world-famous cutman, Jacob Stitch Duran, George Lockhart, the owner of the most popular video blog in all of combat sports, SBG Charleston's own, the one and only Owen Roddy, the one and only John Kavanaugh, legendary sportscaster Jim Gray, the birthday boy himself, Artem Lobov, Conor McGregor's agent, one Adi Attar, Jeff Mayweather himself, Showtime's Steven Espinoza, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Mr. Leonard Ellerby.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I came here today to witness history with each and every one of you. The biggest fight in the history of fighting. And of course, they had to come to the greatest city in the world to do a press conference, of course. So, whether it is Floyd Money Mayweather, or whether it is the notorious Conor McGregor, I just want to welcome these two fighters to Toronto, a place that we love till the day that we are all gone. My name is Drake. I love each and every one of you. Let's get into this shit.
What's up, Los Angeles? Ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending, 155-pound champion of the UFC, the notorious Conor McGregor.
Baby, we did it. He is fucked. There's no other way about it. His little legs, his little core, his little head. I'm gonna knock him out inside 4 rounds, mark my words. All workers what? All workers what? Well, point to the fucking easy work then. Oh, y'all already know. Y'all already know I ain't bitch made. I ain't back down for no motherfucking body. You line them up and I knock them down like bowling pins. And August 26th, I'ma knock this bitch out too. Yeah, really. Yeah. Hey, he look good for a 7-figure fighter. He look good for an 8-figure fighter. But motherfucker, I'm a 9-figure fighter. Yo! DJ! Turn the music on for the strip. Take them high heels off. Defending 155-pound champion of the UFC, the notorious
Does this mic work? Well then, fuck that mic. On the count of 3, I want everyone in this arena to scream at the top of your lungs, fuck the Mayweathers. 1, 2, 3. No. We can do better than that. When I count to 3, I want this entire arena to scream, fuck the Mayweathers. 1, 2, 3, fuck the Mayweathers. He won't do shit. Do fucking nothing. And while we're at it, fuck Showtime too. You little weasel. Look at you, you little fucking weasel. I can see it in your eyes. You're a fucking bitch. Cut my mic off. Cut the champ's mic off. Hell no. You fucking weasel and you fucking bitch. Beautiful. Every shot. 2 minutes. Beautiful. Come on. Conor McGregor. All day. Yes. 1 minute. 1 minute. Woo. Too fast. Too smooth. Beautiful.
Conor's a different human being. He thinks differently. He moves differently. He's aware of stuff that you're doing that I don't even think you're aware of, and he's able to see what's coming. He's able to put you in a position where no matter what you do, you make the wrong move, and he capitalizes. And he's been doing this for many years, and nobody can stop it.
So why is Floyd taking this? Because it's the easiest payday?
No, don't ask me no dumb shit like that. Why would you take it?
It's a lot of money.
Okay then. So don't ask me no stupid question. That's a dumb question, right?
Well, 50th fight, try to test yourself.
It don't matter. You're getting paid.
It's a record.
It's the record, but still, it's still not so much about the record. It's about getting paid. At the end of the day, that's what every athlete is. I mean, it's about getting that check.
Yeah.
Because you can win 95 titles, but if you ain't got no money, what difference does it make? It don't mean shit.
He ain't gonna land shit. Floyd gonna catch the shot. Floyd gonna throw the hook. Gonna catch the hook up here. bang, right down the middle. I'm telling you, man, that's what's gonna happen.
So this is not even a fight.
No, it ain't no fight.
So why is it happening?
Because people want to see strange things.
Conor McGregor really thinks that he's gonna whip Floyd's ass. He really believes that, and Floyd knows that. He knows what he's gonna do to him.
Floyd Money Mayweather.
Money, 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 money team. 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 I'ma pull up on another scene. I ain't paying for no other team. Money, 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 money team. Money, 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 money team. Take it back when I was 17. Distribution let it Medellin. Take a look into my eyes, you can see the pain, figure what I really mean. Mama moved me out the hood, they could never take me from it, I'ma never leave. So I had to get a money team. Money, 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 money.
What did he say to you? What did he say to you when he was looking at you?
I wasn't sure what he was saying. I was trying to get Adi's attention because I was trying to talk to Adi. Adi was saying, you talked out of your contract. I said, no, I didn't talk out of my contract. You guys posted pictures. You forced me to defend myself. I didn't talk anything until you guys posted pictures. The pictures were what started all the talking. So nobody talked out of the contract. You guys posted pictures first. If there was no pictures ever posted, I wouldn't need it to talk.
Right.
I don't need to go find reporters to talk to. I don't need to talk to the media.
What did Conor say to you though? You had some words.
I don't know what Conor said because I was trying to talk to Audi. Conor was probably saying you got your ass, I don't know, typical shit, you got your ass whooped. So, that's what, and then I reminded him, did you bring your balls this week? Because usually you forgot them against Diaz. You tend to forget them when shit gets tough. Make sure he brought his balls Saturday. He's going to need them Saturday. Make sure he doesn't forget them in Ireland or in the training camp house. He's got to bring them Saturday. You got to pack your gloves, you got to pack your shoes, you got to pack your cup, you got to pack your balls too because he tends to forget those.
People who are worried about their image and that have gone sprinting, and that's it, so.
I believe we have the foot. Is this the footage right over here? This is you. Dana White just put this on Instagram. This is you and Paulie Malignaggi. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the moment.
Yeah. Boom. Like, what was that? You think I pushed him there? Does that look like a push?
That did not look like a push.
I mean, he was knocked down. And that's actually doing him a favour because the shots before that where he was rattled and stumbled into the ropes. Do you know what I mean?
So him going on about all of this,
have not. I'm actually, in my mind, it was concussion talk. You know when you're in there and your head rattles, you don't actually understand what's happened. You think a certain picture, or you think a certain situation happened and it didn't. So, I don't know. He got his ass whooped, the poor boy, and that's it.
Are you doing better than you thought you would in training?
I'm doing as good as I thought I would. I know the fighter I am.
Everyone's
I know what I'm capable
glowing
of.
about how your coaches.
Yeah, we're working hard. We have a great team. We have a great team that is all in sync, and we are working very hard. Everyone involved is fully committed, and we are getting great results.
Can you guarantee the next one is MMA? December 30th.
Yeah,
that's what we're told?
I believe so.
December 30th.
I believe so. We'll see. Who knows? But I believe so.
Hey everyone, it's Ariel Helwani. It's around 4 a.m. Pacific time in Las Vegas, Thursday morning. We're a little over 48 hours away from the fight of the century, Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. All week long, Floyd Mayweather has said that he'd be at his new Gentleman's Club Girl Collection in Las Vegas leading up to the fight. We wanted to see if that was true. We've been waiting for him for 6 hours, and look who is here, the man himself.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? It's Floyd Money Mayweather. I was here Sunday, Monday we wasn't open. I was here Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Going to technically Thursday, and I'm here.
Unbelievable. Why are you doing this?
This is my club. What do you mean why I'm doing this? I love my club. This is my establishment. This is my business.
Some would say you should be sleeping. You should be. Why aren't you at home resting?
Well, the last time I checked, those someones are not undefeated.
That's right.
So it's obvious. I know what it takes when it's a fight.
MMA Fighting. Mark my word. There's a 100% chance this fight won't go the distance. 100% chance.
So his coach said on Monday, you said earlier that you're going to go forward. He says if you go forward, he'll knock you out in a minute. What is your response to that?
We'll see. We'll see.
But they don't believe you're going to go forward.
Okay, we'll see.
Why would you go forward in this last fight? That's typically...
We'll see. We'll see. At the end of the day, you will see the results. This fight won't go the distance. Remember that. No matter what his coach say, his coach can't fight for him. When it comes down to it, it comes down to the two fighters. when it's all said and done.
Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. We're outside the T-Mobile Arena, and the Irish are here. Are the Irish here? We've been wondering when they will come. They have finally arrived. Let me ask them, who's winning? Floyd Mayweather or Conor?
Money Mayweather! Trim and ready, 149.5 pounds. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's the money fight. Mayweather versus McGregor. 12 rounds of boxing in the super welterweight division.
Here we go.
Hopefully you can hear it okay. A kid from Dublin with more than a dream. He knew one day he'd be the king of the UFC. Oh, with a group of fighting Irish not to be pushed over, not here to take part. They were here to take over, and from the start, John Kavanagh by his side. Whoever thought they'd be known worldwide after 60 G's, baby, and a contract to sign, leaving his whole life and the social welfare behind. Then after 2 years came the featherweight champion of the world, and Conor said he'd make him look like a little girl. It only took 10 seconds to show his talk wasn't cheap as he connected with the left and put Aldo. The sleep is only one Conor McGregor, and there's a fighter better, and he's gonna knock out Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd, watch out, cause the Irish are coming. You can talk all you want, but you do nothing. Only one Conor McGregor, and there's the fighter better, and he's gonna knock out Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd, watch out, cause the Irish are coming. You can talk all you want, but you do nothing. The lightweight belt was next in store to do what no other fighter had ever done before. Became the first same-time double champ in history, and took the chance to apologise to absolutely nobody. He came from working on a building site to get $1 million paychecks from Dana White, and now his money, his cars and his clothes he flaunts, cause the double champ does what the f*** he wants. And Mayweather, you're old and you're small, and the truth is that you'll do feck all, cause precision beats power and timing beats speed. Why have you got a school back, Floyd? You can't even read this. There's only one Conor McGregor, and there's a fighter better, and he's gonna knock out Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd, watch out, cause the Irish are coming. You can talk all you want, but you do nothing. Only one Conor McGregor, and there's the fighter better, and he's gonna knock out Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd, watch out, cause the Irish are coming. You can talk all you want, but you do nothing. Well, he dresses to kill, buys Lamborghinis at will, can get inside your head like he was Dr. Phil. And if you call him out, have a good reason why, or he'll turn around and say, who the is that guy? And on the 26th of August, we're taking over Vegas. The Irish invasion, you can't mistake us. Singing songs day and night till their voices are sore. Because when one of us goes, we all go to war. There's only one Conor McGregor, and there's a fighter better, and he's gonna knock out Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd, watch out, cause the Irish are coming. You can talk all you want, but you do nothing. Only one Conor McGregor, and there's a fighter better. He's gonna knock out Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd, watch out, cause the Irish are coming. You can talk all you want, but you do nothing. You do nothing.
Yeah, well done, Mick. Perfect Skype connection. It worked.
You know, I told you people, I guarantee you this fight wouldn't go the distance. I told you, I was going for the knockout, I was going straight ahead. And with going straight ahead, you're gonna take contact, I understand that. But, you know, after 21 years in the sport of boxing, you know, I had some great fights, I had some boring fights. But at the end of the day, I will be always remembered as a winner, you know, no matter how you win, as long as you win. And I knew how to, I know how to dissect my opponent. I know how to go out there and break them down and just stick to the game plan. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, to the podium, I'd like to call up the notorious one, Conor McGregor.
What's up, everybody? Hello. I'll put my whiskey down, notorious Irish whiskey. Coming soon. Do I answer questions or do I just rattle on? Rattle on? No problem. It was a good fight. Thought I smoked them the early rounds. I thought I bushed you up the early rounds, but I tell you what, you're one composed individual. You didn't get rattled. You tucked in when you needed to tuck in. I thought you switched up your game plan 3 times. You came out looking to box. I thought you were being outboxed early on. You looked to play against the ropes like you looked to play. You were getting picked off there. And then you came in, hands up towards your forehead, dipped in, forehead on the chest, and started to fight that kind of fight. I didn't anticipate that. Three game changes in the fight. That's what a true champion does. Much respect. You came with it. You know what I mean? I got to give respect to that. It was a hell of a fight. I would have liked to see the end of the 10th. I think fatigue, there's like a patch. There's a patch somewhere in the middle of fights, even with the Diaz 2 fight. I have this patch where I must overcome. I get a little wobbly, and I start but it's more fatigue, and I can't, if you look at the Diaz 2 fight, I came through that, came back round 4, round 5. I would have liked to see the end of round 10 and see where it brought us, but hell of a competitor. Switched it up, kept the pressure. You've got to give your hat off to Floyd. A hell of a career. Congratulations. It was a good fight. It was an honour to come in and just put on a show for this side of the game. You know, it's a very different game. So it's an honour to step in and challenge myself. Didn't go my way tonight. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of how everyone handled themselves. It was a hell of a journey, a hell of an experience. No doubt it will stand to me for the rest of my career.
Do you have any regrets?
Absolutely none. Absolutely none. If anything, I would have liked to just have that guy that I was talking about come sit on my chest with his hands up and let the shots fly instead of taking him out after 6 rounds. I think if I had had him on the later rounds, I would have been a lot more equipped with dealing with that. You know what I mean? Because I was dealing with it round 1 to 6. I should have been dealing with that round 6 to 12. I would have been a lot more accustomed to it, and I felt I would have handled it a little bit better. So, but you live and you learn.
Did you get any sense? Did you get any sense that you had him in danger? That you really had him hurt in the early rounds?
His head was snapping back. He changed his game plan 3 times. He came out, tried the box. He got 8 with a left hand. Then he went against the ropes like he usually does. Then I was just picking away at the body. The first 3 rounds, I was like, man, I actually got a little bit over eager because I was like, this is actually very easy. And then his composure started to shine through. I started to throw shots, and instead of having the success like I was having in the early rounds, he was catching them on the gloves, catching them on the elbows. And then the fatigue set in, and then that's it. Fatigue got me this. It's not. I don't know what it is. It's like because it's certainly not from not working hard enough. Because I fucking work hard, Ariel. Like I work hard. I don't care. Look at it. Like I work my ass off. So I think it's just a mental thing that I need to figure out. But I'm proud of myself. I would have liked to see round 11. I think if I'd have got to the end of that bell at round 10, I would have had that minute recovery and I would have came out strong because it's a seesaw game. If I'm dealing with my energy and he's working and I'm recovering and eating shots and so on and so forth, then when he goes back to the corner and I'm still there, now it's his turn.
he must recover. And you know what I mean? It's a game of back and forth. So I would have liked to been given more of a shot, but I don't hold nothing against the referee. It is what it is. I think like if that was a mixed martial arts bout, they want to see your nose hanging off your face before you even considered getting stopped like that. Do you know what I mean? No, there was no knockdown, no nothing, and they stop. That never happens in MMA. So.
Ariel Helwani in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, alongside the reigning defending UFC flyweight champion Demetrious Johnson, alongside the reigning defending UFC women's bantamweight champion Amanda Nunes, alongside Ray Borg, alongside Valentina Shevchenko. If you win this fight, are you the greatest fighter of all time?
I'm already am the greatest fighter of all time. I mean, my open workouts, there's not another person in this sport who can transition between things like I can. I mean, there just isn't. I mean,
what do you mean by that, transition between things?
Like, I can strike and then change elevation and come back up and then throw a knee, come here, throw over here right, and then throw a high kick. Like, I can do all that stuff to where I haven't seen another athlete do it.
Do you feel like going into this fight, because of what happened in July, there's a little more pressure on you to sort of prove that you're the best, to prove that what was said about you in July isn't accurate? You fought some of the best, Misha and Ronda most recently, but now it seems like there's a spotlight on you a little more than in the past. Do you feel that way?
You know, I'm the champ. I have to defend this belt. I'm not going to stay home like the belt there and then I'm sitting down in the couch. No, I have to step in the cage. I have to defend, and I will keep doing it. No pressure at all. I'm a fighter. I have to step in the cage and fight. This is what I like to do.
Sure.
You know, nobody's going to stop me, and I feel like I'm in the best shape ever, than ever. And I'm ready for Valentina for sure. I know everything she's going to bring that night. I fight her, I beat her already, and I will do it again.
I know you won't give us the game plan, but is it the same game plan for this fight that you had in July, the fight that never happened, or did you change anything in the last 2 months?
No, it's pretty the same game plan, but more from this. I'm ready to work from the very first second of the fight till the last second of the fight, and I'm prepared for all 5 rounds. But I will look forward to finish her as soon as I can.
Last thing, how's the weight cut going? What are we at right now?
Weight cut, we're great. We're right on track. Same progression as we were in Brazil. I have perfecting athletes behind me, so the women there are doing a wonderful job making sure my weight's on tack and making sure I'm getting in the right foods, right liquids to get this weight cut and this party started.
How much do you weigh right now? Could you tell us?
No, I don't want to tell you guys.
It's a secret?
It's a super secret.
Why?
Okay, fine. I weigh about, this morning I woke up about 8 pounds over.
Is that good for you?
That's amazing for me
Okay.
compared to 8 pounds a day of weigh-ins, so it's good for me.
Some disappointing news for the fans here in Alberta. They have sort of become used to this type of thing dating back to UFC 149. Again, on Thursday, we found out that Ray Borg was forced to pull out of UFC 215. He was scheduled to face Demetrious Johnson in the UFC flyweight title fight main event. He was forced to pull out due to a virus infection, UFC doctors ruling him unfit to fight. The UFC did not book a replacement for Demetrious Johnson. They are hoping to reschedule that particular fight in the very near future, but as of right now, we are proceeding with just one title fight on this card, and that will be Valentina Shevchenko versus Amanda Nunes for the UFC Women's Bantamweight Championship. The funny thing about that, of course, is that 2 months ago, we lost that main event just hours before UFC 213, and following that news, UFC President Dana White said that he would not headline a card with those two fighters, and now here he is forced to headline UFC 215 with those two fighters. In your mind, which rounds do you think you won decisively?
I think after the first round, it was pretty close. Second, third, and fourth, it was mine. In fifth, all the round, it was mine. In just one takedown, I think about this takedown, it judges they give to other side. But how I said, even this takedown, it was only control position, and I was landing more punches from being on the ground.
A lot of people talk about my last fight against Valentina was 3-minute rounds, and then I got tied in the 30, all those things. But people have to understand it. The fight evolve. The fight evolve. I'm always go back to the gym. You wanna do better and better. Go back to the gym, learning new things. And tonight was 5 rounds that I wanna show for people. No knockout, no submission. 5 rounds. This was my strategy tonight. In the first 2 rounds, I kicked her, and then I caught her knee, and then I got a little bit hurt, and then I not be able to do that much in the fight. And I save a lot of energy, making her do all the work. This was the strategy. make her miss, make her do all the work, and then waiting for the best moments to change the rounds was with my takedowns at the end, and with a little bit strike and kicks to make her keep like punching, and then keep her like moving, and get her tired. And I not be able to do that much because I hurt my foot, and I still like try to, of course, knock her out. But my big thing tonight was go to 5 rounds, show the world I'm ready, I'm the champion, I'm here to stay.
Ariel Helwani in Las Vegas alongside Ray Borg, Beneil Dariush, Evan Dunham, Tony Ferguson, the UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Johnson, the Motown phenom himself, Kevin Lee, Fabricio Verdum. You can guarantee right here on camera you will be fighting on Saturday.
I will guarantee everyone that I will make it to the fight and win the fight.
Oh, and win the fight. We're getting that.
Yeah.
You are guaranteeing it.
I'm
Are you winning?
I say 3rd round submission.
So we were actually on the Strip on Sunday. Sunday's usually my day off, and I like to go for a walk just because my body gets kind of stiff. And so we walked outside on the Strip, and then we started getting the reports and people talking. So we went straight back to the car. But all night we were looking at the news to see what's going on, and they just said 50 injured, 2 dead. That's what we knew. And then we woke up in the morning, and the number had changed to 500 injured and 59 passed. And man, I was kind of heartbroken because I was right there, and I didn't really know what to even think at the time, and it still feels that way. I just don't get like what does that even do? What was the purpose of that? I don't think it accomplished anything. So it just heartbroken is the best way to put it.
How would you describe the feeling in the city over the past couple of days as opposed to just a regular week in October?
It's definitely down. You know what I mean? People are definitely down. It's people are down.
Tony, it's good to see you. It's good to talk to you. I was worried that you weren't talking to me. Wow, how about this? A lot of love. I appreciate it.
Sure, man. There's a lot more things to worry about in this world than bullshit.
The big question is, why do you capitalize the first letter of every word on Twitter?
Because it pisses people off, of course. I'm very educated, but I just think it's funny. And then when the people say that, it gets their attention because the grammar Nazis out there, they need to just chill the fuck out. Because I never read a rule book for Instagram or for Twitter or for any social media. Now, if you want an MLA format or an APA format, I'll write it for you. There's no problem. I'll write you a thesis with a nice hypothesis to back it up. So if we really want to, we can go that route. But I like messing around with people because it gets them to interact with me. And if they want to interact negatively or positively, I'm always going to be positive, straight up.
The word is that your deal was restructured a little bit. Could you tell us any more on that?
It just got restructured. I just want to be on the same playing field as all the other champions. All the other champions. And it's all public record. I mean, Dana White. Those guys. They don't say it, but they kind of say it. But every single champion out there gets 500 flat to win and plus pay-per-view points. Where I'm not to that level yet. So that's my goal. That's what I believe first round management can get me to. It's not like this is my first or second or fourth title defense. I just didn't win the belt. You got guys who win the belt and they get 500 flat straight up, and then they get pay-per-view points. Where it's like, dude, 10 title defenses and going on my 11th one, I believe. Hopefully I'm successful. And
me and Tony, we definitely the 2 top guys in this division right now. This is for the real lightweight championship. If Conor can walk around and call himself the champ and he can sleep good at night and kiss his girl and sleep on a bed of hundreds, I hope he do. He only got 1 fight in this division. Tony's got 12 wins. I've got 10 wins. We've already been through the who's who of 155, and this establishes the true champion. So if he wants a shot at a real champion, then he know who to come to. If not, maybe he should go back, take a fight versus Diaz or something like that. Show that you can beat the man, because like I said, as far as I'm concerned, he then lost his 3 of his last 4 fights. He just got out wrestled by a man that's this tall, a boxer, 30, 40 pounds lighter than me, and is a boxer, and he out wrestled him. So he got to show me a little bit more. He got to start barking at me. I ain't really that impressed. I like a good challenge. He ain't the biggest challenge right now at 155.
Did what happened in Houston, in your hometown, you're so proud to be from there, in the midst of this training camp, give you a little extra motivation? Like you have to represent on Saturday for them. Did you think of it that way? Did you try to use that as fuel for the fight?
Not at all. It's really emotional. It's really taxing on,
your body as well as your mind. You know, it's kind of hard to really try to think about fighting whenever there's people out there lost everything, and I'm out here trying to fight somebody that didn't even do anything to me for some money, and people out there just lost their job and all of that. You know, it's just kind of hard. You know, in my head, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not focused.
You're not?
No.
Did you consider pulling out?
No, I did for a few seconds, but I was like, nah, I would never do that.
When you say you're not focused, is it because you're worried or thinking about other things, or is it just hard to kind of get excited for a fight when, as you say, you know, people back home are dealing with these real matters?
Yeah, it's really that, you know, everyone that back home, you know, a couple of family members dealing with a tragedy like what happened in Houston, and then coming here, then hearing all this bad stuff that's happened, then it's like, what the hell is going on? Right. I was expecting for the whole card to be canceled, really.
Right now I'm probably like 74 or something like that, so I have a decent little cut. And it ain't gonna be nothing different. I've cut from a lot higher than that, so it's gonna be smooth.
So that's normal a day before weigh-ins?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be smooth. Watch, I mean, even I carry a lot of muscle, so it's a lot easier for me to cut the water, and I'm just not a bitch about it. Like, I had tiramisu last night, so look, the shit gonna hurt when they get down to the end, but I'm a man up about it, especially when you talk about 20%. There's a lot of things I do for 40, 50 G's, I'll tell you that right now.
I prepared night and day. This wasn't an easy camp. This was hard, man. I did the joking about training with Yogi Bear and the Coyotes. It's funny. My training partner right there, Alex and Randy, they would run with me every night, and if I didn't have anybody to run me, they were following me with the car. And sometimes you didn't feel like you're running by yourself. So it makes you run a little bit faster, right? But except for me, I would have choked that bitch out, no matter what it was. I'm not afraid of any animal, any human being. As far as the fight's concerned, Kevin Lee is not going to propose a threat to me. And I will have my hand raised in victory.
I know I'm better than Demetrius Johnson in the scrambles. All it would mean to me is just stamping my legacy. I'm not worried too much about breaking his title record. I mean, I could have fought him one fight ago or 2 fights from now, and the goal is still always to get that belt and start my era and start my legacy. So, you know, it's just a little bit of a icing on the cake to halt that record.
I wonder, what could you guys ask me within 24 hours? Please, amuse me. I'm really looking forward to this. I just see myself as a hard worker. You know, like I said, man, I worked in a warehouse making $10.76 an hour, running home, telling my boss I need to poop on the toilet, and sitting here watching Kid Yamamoto fighting Dream, the World Grand Prix, right? And, you know, I was running home watching Joseph Benavidez fighting Dominic Cruz. And I'll never forget those days because that's what makes me appreciate where I'm at now. You know, you see a lot of guys, they get the belt, they get flashy, they start wearing glasses indoor, and they start doing all this other shit. And don't get me wrong, like, I have been good to myself, and my family has a wonderful life, and a beautiful house. But at the same time, I never forget those days where I came from, where I was the guy on the other side of the TV screen watching these other guys fight. And so I think it's good to be a champion that's humble and to let everybody know that I'm a human being just like everybody else. I don't have to pretend like I'm on a different atmosphere. Now, when it comes to my skill set, absolutely I'm on a different planet. But as a normal human being, I'm pretty sure I put my leg on, my pants on just like you do every day, one leg at a time.
Here he is, the Motown phenom himself, Kevin Lee, has arrived. It is 11 a.m. Pacific time. Takes a deep breath, wipes his face with his towel. He is about to step on the scale. Cannot be over 155. 156 for Kevin Lee. 156 for Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee appears to be stunned. He thought he was going to make the weight. Bob Bennett says he is 156. Kevin Lee is back. He says, let's go. He shakes his head. He is confident as can be. He is stepping on to the scale right now. He is about to step on the scale. He is getting ready. Bob Bennett wishes him good luck. Standing with his head held high, appears to be confident. Kevin Lee is flexing. He has to hit 155. This is his chance. No time to spare. No more chances. Kevin Lee has to hit 155. 154 and a half for Kevin Lee as he raises the number one. He has made the weight, and that means our interim lightweight title fight is official.
We're not quite back to normal here in Las Vegas. Slowly but surely, it seems like things are kind of getting back to normal, and hopefully UFC 216 tomorrow night here at the T-Mobile Arena can help begin that healing for this community. The UFC, as we said earlier in the week, has long been the hometown team here before the Golden Knights and the Raiders eventually came to town. So I think this is an important thing for the community, and it's somewhat coincidental that, you know, of all weekends, the UFC is here. They could be anywhere in the world. And so it seems as though they're going to be honoring their hometown city tomorrow night throughout the card, wearing t-shirts that say Vegas Strong. The vibe here is slowly, like I said, getting back to normal. A nice little crowd at the weigh-ins. Looking forward to tomorrow night, watching some fun fights. Hopefully it turns out to be a great night for the company, for the fighters, for everyone involved, for the MMA community, and of course, most importantly, for Las Vegas, Nevada as well.
You know, Dana asked me to come and sing the national anthem, and I started practicing it, and I kept getting to the rockets' red glare and the bombs bursting in there, and just, it didn't feel right. You know, just didn't feel right. And I was actually going to call him and tell him I didn't think I could do it. And I literally grabbed my phone, picked it up, and you know how when you flip your phone and it just kind of comes on nowadays? My music page was on once I opened it. And the first song that was on, like the picture of the album, was Ray Charles, and it was America the Beautiful. And something said, everything's pointing there. And I called Dana back. I said, I just feel like it's the wrong time for that right now. You know what I mean? I mean, I love my country and I love the anthem and all that, whatever. But it just seemed like this was a little bit more healing, and the crown that good. And brother, I like that sentiment right now, just a little bit better, considering there was a war zone here like 5 days ago. I don't need to talk about bombs and guns. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's just how it felt for me.
All I got to do is touch gloves, and then everything else is just natural. It's what I do so much. It's like a second language. I don't have to overthink it. It just happens. But it's hard to get that out of your head. And getting it out of your head, I feel like I'm being selfish. When I'm like, oh, don't think about it. What do you mean don't think about it? People passed. Good people who, you know, have kids, things like that. You keep seeing stories on Instagram, on Twitter, on social media about some of the families that made it, some of the victims that, you know, pulled through, and then you see some things that the families didn't pull through, and they lost a mother who had 4 kids, fathers, husbands, children. So I felt selfish if I just pushed it off. I accepted it, and I just think to myself, if I get an opportunity, I want to help out, and I just want to let them know that we're here for them.
Do you really think a win over Walt Harris could propel you back to a shot at Stipe?
Yes, for sure, man. 100%. I told you, man. That depend. The performance, I think my performance is very well. It's very good performance. And I think, the next one I deserve, not just for this fight, not just this fight, you know. I think in my whole career, you know, I trained for 20 years. And I think I deserve again. I got two times the belt, 2 times the interim belt, and after versus Mark Hunt versus Cain Velasquez, I show this, and I show again. I have a 4 years old, but I show again. I know the way, you know. 100% I got it again.
You know, it was definitely not the performance that I wanted at all. And I don't mean that just because I didn't win. I mean because I didn't implement the things that my coaches wanted me to. I should have gone a different route. And I think if I would have went that route, it would have been a little bit better for me, and it would have, you know, played into my favor. But, you know, I'm 24 years old. What can I say? Fight for a world title against what you guys call the pound-for-pound greatest. So all I'm going to do is just learn.
It's funny. I never, you know, you see a lot of people out there, they're doing their training videos, their vlogs and stuff. I don't show any of my training. I just don't do it. It's none of your guys' business what I'm doing in the gym. But we do have the embedded crew coming out there, and I'll let them film my warm-up. And they're like, dude, you need to let us, you know, film your sparring, because the stuff that you're doing in sparring, you're actually doing in an octagon. And Rick Lee, he will tell you already in Edmonton, I threw, I was practicing throwing people up. I do it all the time in the gym. When I was in the octagon fighting Ray Borg, he's very tough dude. His game is scrambling. That's what he likes to do. And when he was like, oh, I'm out scramble DJ, I'm gonna get on top of him. And even when he took me down, I was like, okay, you took me down. Are you gonna pass guard? No. And I elevated him, then I got back up, and I was like, okay, you took me down. That was the best opportunity you had. And then when I had his back, he was very planted. His weight was planted. And Matt, a couple weeks ago, he was saying when somebody's planted, you have to shift their weight. And when they shift their weight, they're light. So when I had him, I was kneeing him. I was going to try to kick him in the face, but I knew he was looking for that to try to take me down. So I kneed him, and then I shook his weight. I shifted his weight. And then when he shifted, he went back through an elbow, and I was like, got you. And that's when I threw him up, and then landed an armbar. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
With Tony, he's a dog. I said it before the fight. He's definitely been the toughest fight in this division. He's a rightful champion. I tried to make it a dog fight with him. I tried to let him know it's going to be a fight. At the end of the first, you got to put that man out. He there's no quit in him. He kept coming forward, and he kept the pressure, and he did what a champion is supposed to do. And I wish him nothing but the best. It might have been a lot of back and forth before, but we come from the same alma mater. I know how tough Tony Ferguson is, and he's the best man in the world.
Kevin, did the staph infection come up at all, or did the doctor, no one ever, commissioned, did they have no idea about it?
I tried my best to hide it. I wasn't, it's a big event. A lot has been happening with the UFC these last couple events, and I wasn't going to let nobody down. I worked my whole life for this. It was like a culmination of things, but I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm still going to be a world champion. It might not happen when I'm 25, but...
I was saving my good material for him, literally. I mean, honestly, I didn't want to say anything against Kevin Lee. He didn't deserve to be up here, but he showed that tonight. He was the only game opponent that wanted to sign a dotted line. He made the weight. Everybody was panicking when he didn't even make weight. Everybody was telling me, Tony, are you worried? Are you worried? Are you worried? Absolutely not. We come from the same background. I knew he was going to make weight. So if Conor's next, no matter what, if he doesn't want to defend it, then whatever. I don't care. I'm here right now. I just won this belt. I'm fresh. I don't have any injuries. I'm ready to go back to the drawing board on Monday. There's a couple things I really want to work on and sharpen up, especially my elbows. My takedown defense, really, I don't care. My takedowns are amazing. My takedown defense was amazing, but that's what I did. I sacrificed my takedown defense to get into my submission game. I wanted to demonstrate to everybody that I'm a full, complete mixed martial artist. I don't just have hands. Because in the beginning, I was knocking out people. You guys remember that? And then I learned Muay Thai, and then I learned Jiu-Jitsu. And I just learned how to put it all together. You don't have to take so many shots like I did in the first one, but you might sometimes give one to take two, or take one to give two.
Looking ahead to a fight against McGregor, he's a guy that's a really good counter puncher, and but he has some good things going for you. How do you break that matchup down? Do you feel like the matchup favors you, or do you think it's kind of even and it's going to be who's on top of his game that night?
I'll ankle pick him, no problem. I'll set him on his ass and everybody's the same size on the ground. Conor McGregor poses no threat to me, especially when I hit him with the jab. He's going to be running away like Katsunori Kakuno did, and I'll chase after his ass like a cornerback, and I'll slam him to the ground, and I'll finish him with a Darce choke or any kind of choke of my please. The boy's scared. He's never mentioned my name not one time. Not one time during this whole entire talk. I've been here. I'm 10 consecutive victories. I'm a lightweight, interim lightweight champ. But like I said, it doesn't matter who they put in front of me. It could be Habib, it could be Conor. I'm going to go back to the drawing board, and I'm going to talk to my managers. I'm going to talk to my agents. I'm going to talk to my team. But the fight is with Conor. It is with Conor. You can't run anymore, man. You're in check. And I'm great at chess.
Ariel Helwani in New York City getting set for UFC 217 alongside Paulo Borrachinha, Irish Joe Duffy, Randy Brown, my good friend Mickey Gall, Jorge Masvidal, Vince St. Preux, James Vick. I saw on Instagram you said that you invented the call-out.
I never said I invented the call-out. See, people change my words. Okay. I'm the reason why the call-out's so mandatory right now. Okay. I brought the call-out back. Okay. I did not invent the call. Okay, I'm not the first.
But I took that, and now that's why you heard T. Ferguson go McNuggets. That's why Jon Jones called out Brock Lesnar. That's why Cyborg calling people out on Instagram. That's why I'm the reason why every single think of all the call-outs there's been. There's been a huge wave of them lately, right? I'm the one who brought that back.
All right,
That's true. That's fact. I changed the culture a little bit lately. I sparked it up.
I'll give you that credit.
Yes.
Sorry if you were asked this before, but why did you go to Jackson's and how did you like it?
No, I loved it. Loved Jackson's. And one of the reasons why I went there is because they've already trained for me a couple times. Okay. So they've been on the opposite side of me. So they know what kind of fighter I was and what kind of fighter I want to be now. Jackson, he's so smart when it comes to that aspect. And then Wink, he's right there with him. Those two put together, then you throw my boxing coach in there. Man, in a year, no, I really believe this. You give me a year with those three, Jackson, Wink, and my box coach, Tony. I don't think anybody beats me on my feet. I don't think anybody beats me in a year.
But the goal is beat Wonder Boy on Saturday, and then you're the number one contender.
No, look, I can't just beat him because they'll rob me of a decision. I got to murder him. So the goal is murder him, move on to the title, and then whatever happens, happens,
What do you mean by murder him?
Murder him, make sure he leaves in the stretcher because I'm not winning a decision in New York against him, So I got to make sure that he can't walk out of there in one piece,
For me, I got the two major, arenas I wanted to fight in. I remember telling myself fighting in Saitama Arena in Japan was a big deal to me. And, then they came over here and they said Madison Square Garden, and I was like, wow, that's another big deal to me. So not too many people can be like, I fought in Saitama Arena and Madison Square Garden, at the same time. So
it feels like it's been a slow go to kind of crack that top 10 for you, despite all the great performances. Frustrating.
Yeah, because these dudes don't want to fight me. They don't want to fight me. I've had a couple of them already turn down fights with me.
Who turned down?
Evan Dunham, Dustin Poirier. They don't want to fight me.
Really?
So I've been trolling these guys on social media, on Twitter for months. So I trolled Evan Dunham because I get a text message from Sean Shelby asking if I'll fight him, and then he says, and I said, yeah, absolutely. Then I start trolling him because he won't reply. And then I get a text message from Sean Shelby a few weeks after that talking about Evan Dunham won't fight you. Said he's willing to sit out. So they're willing to sit out. Then he asked me, we're going to ask Poirier if he'll fight you. And then a week after that, Poirier takes the fight with Pettis. And I called out Pettis. I called out Gaethje. I called out Average. I was talking all types of shit. And they act like they don't even know who I am. They don't want to acknowledge it. I mean, my UFC record's better than all y'all's. You know exactly who the hell I am. They just don't want to fight. And the UFC, at this point, it's really not the UFC's fault. They can't put a gun to their head and make them fight.
What's up, New York? How are you today? Thanks for coming out here. We appreciate it.
Beating all the greats. I'm going to beat this guy. George is one of the greats. I'm going to wipe him out. Saturday night, I'm going to destroy him. Wipe him out. Wipe the floor. Boo this motherfucker. This is how stupid you look with those fucking headbands. You look like a fucking idiot. Hey, George, these are your people. These are your fucking people, man. What the fuck?
Know that. Bring it. How many times did I fuck you up in practice?
0, motherfucker.
Exactly.
We're gonna find
And
out.
Saturday, you're gonna find out.
You can talk all you want, show your insecurities, show who you really are. We're gonna get out there. I'm gonna have a
Dude,
smile
I
on
had
my
you
face.
in your own
I'm
locker.
gonna break your ass.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
had
break
you in your own locker room, me and you together, ready to fist
How about
up,
when you went
and
home
you
crying?
backed the fuck down.
How about when you went home
I
crying and
never
left
cried
practice?
for you. Never
'Cause
cried.
you're getting ready for
How
the
many
first
times did
UFC
Holdsworth
fight
make you
and
cry?
you're not ready?
How many times did Dwayne
Fuck
Ludwig
you.
come up to Chris Holdsworth and say, "Hey, Grasshopper, take it easy on TJ
How many times
today.
you quit
He's got
practice?
a championship fight
Yeah.
coming up."
How many times you quit practice, motherfucker?
Never quit practice,
All the fucking
motherfucker.
time.
I'm gonna make you quit.
Yeah,
you have no. You can do all the conditioning in the world with your new coach. You can't condition that fucking chin of yours.
Rose,
Yeah,
you
of
don't
course
look
you do.
like you're particularly enjoying this. Would you rather not be at the press conference? You just want to get at the fight?
What makes you think I'm not enjoying this? I ain't gotta say shit. I just sit here and do it, and that's my job.
That's the first time you smiled since you walked in.
Yeah, because nobody done ask me no questions. I ain't gotta say shit.
So, how are you
Fight
feeling?
Saturday.
Are you enjoying the build-up? Did you enjoy the open workout yesterday? You looking forward
Yes.
to fight night?
This is what I wanted. You know, I wanted to be in the belly of the beast. I wanted to be as scary as possible. I wanted to fight Joanna at her best where she wanted to. And this is what I want, and this is where I'm at.
Great stuff, thanks.
This is what I'm expecting, but I think this press conference is a little bit too much. And after the second face-off, she's going to be more stressing out about our fight on Saturday. So I think you cannot be the champion because you just can't do this. You can't deal with the media. You cannot deal with the pressure. It's too much for you.
Has anybody got any questions for George? He hasn't been here for 4 years. Or does no one give a fuck? I don't think anyone gives a fuck, George.
story.
Okay, Johnny Hendricks.
Last night, so nobody writes negative that, oh, Johnny had to strip because he missed weight. I misjudged last night that I thought I had some underwear that didn't weigh anything. Well, I was wrong. So instead of losing 1.4 like I should have, I drank up 1.2, which was my fault. So I lost the 1.2, just not for the underwear count, which I should have lost 1.4. So I should have drank only 1 pound back. So all you media people, I didn't miss weight. I just misread the underwear. Okay? No negative. You hear me? No negative.
Oh my, here comes Johnny Hendricks, prefacing what's to come. Hopefully it's good news. Didn't quite understand.
185.8.
And he hits his mark. Okay, there you go, 185.8. So he throws us a curveball, warning us about a potential failure to make weight, but in the end,
When you're done with your I actually misread that scale. Some bitch. I didn't even have to do that. All right, but get Johnny.
golly, Johnny Hendricks now saying that he was expecting to miss weight, but in the end he makes the weight anyway. I think it's a little unclear. For the first time in 4 years, and he hits his mark, 184.4 for George Rush St. Pierre. And look at this. What a moment. What a time. George St. Pierre posing for the fans in attendance, appears to be in great spirits. Here she is, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, the strawweight queen of the UFC, one of the greatest of all time when it comes to women's MMA. She steps on the scale. She is undefeated as a pro. Here we go. She puts the number one up, always very confident, and she hits her mark. That's 115 for Joanna Jędrzejczyk with just 5 minutes to spare. Looking to make history on Saturday night, hoping to tie Ronda Rousey's title defense record. And she just said it herself, making history tomorrow night. Poland's own, the pride of Poland, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Rose Namajunas stepping on the scale. What an opportunity for her. Getting a chance to fight for the UFC strawweight title for the second time. Remember, she was in the finale of The Ultimate Fighter against Carla Esparza. She steps on the scale. She hits her mark. That's 114 for the young woman they call Thug Rose. Stoic, unflappable, always on point, always with her game face on. We've also come to find out that she is a phenomenal piano player.
Boogie Woman is coming tomorrow, and she doesn't know what's coming. 6 title defenses. I will tie Ronda Rousey's record, break the record of 7 fights. And I have a surprise for you guys. Don't blink tomorrow. Believe me, I put on such a great camp. Boogie Woman is coming for Heroes.
The Boogie Woman, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, George, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here, guys. Thank you for the support. Oh, yeah.
What does it feel like to be back? And what does it feel like to be preparing after 4 years out of the octagon to fight for the middleweight title tomorrow night?
It's 4 years in the making. I've been wanting this for a long time. I've been waiting for this for a long time, and I get it. Madison Square Garden for the title against Michael Bisping. It can't get better than this.
Good luck to you tomorrow, sir. Welcome back. George St. Pierre, ladies and gentlemen.
George is a fucking pussy. That's my thoughts. All you guys that are booing, unlucky motherfuckers, because tomorrow night, that fucking pussy is going down. 4 years he steps away. He's a drug cheat, he's a pussy, and tomorrow he's going to be a loser. Boo me, fuck you.
Good luck to you tomorrow, sir. Michael Bisping, ladies and gentlemen.
And Colby Covington, what do you make of Mr. Covington, who's ruffling a lot of feathers? He's a very polarizing figure.
He's playing the game, man. Let me tell you. He finished Damian Maia. Do I think it was the best Damian Maia? No, I don't. But he finished Damian Maia, man, which is a feat in its own. I mean, he's ruffling some feathers, man. He's making his shout. I think I agree with you. The welterweight division is, I think, the toughest and the most exciting division in the UFC right now. There's not a real set number one contender. You know, you got all these young guys coming up, like you said. Everybody in the top 10 has the potential to have the title, to be the title, the champion. They're that good. So everybody that's coming up, I'm keeping my eye on, man.
But the one that, if you had it your way, it would be the RDA Lawler fight.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you
Oh,
want.
yeah, I think that would be awesome, especially Lawler. I've been wanting to fight him for a while. I'm a huge fan of Lawler. Watching him fight in Strikeforce, you know, back in the day, very tough. And that's the guy I was actually preparing for to fight for that title. I thought he was going to beat Tyron. Of course, Tyron proved us wrong. But, man, I think that would be a beast of a fight.
Entering this fight, there was a lot of emotion. I mean, you've always had an edge, that sort of thing. Do you feel like emotion played any part of it tonight, or there was mistakes?
Please don't compare me to Ronda Rousey. I love her so much, and we have very good relationship. But please, let's leave this bullshit away. I never take fights personal, and I'm not emotional. When I'm fighting, everything went so smooth during this camp. It was very long camp. For 13 weeks, I was training with American top team. You know, just big surprise, and this is what happens. Big congrats to Rose. I'm happy for her, but I will be back stronger. You know, it was not personal. This is what happened. The things which happened before the fight have nothing to do with this fight. It was a good. She cut me off. I really don't know what happened, but it's the fight, you know. We take this risk.
After the fight, you said to Joe Rogan, "This belt doesn't mean anything. Be a good person."
Yeah.
So now that you're a champion and you can reach a greater audience,
Yeah.
how do you want to get that message through?
Well, for one, I think that mixed martial arts has been, you know, there's just been a lot of trash talking and things like that, and just people that I feel like, you know, aren't really being true to themselves or being honest, you know. And I don't know, maybe that's just, you know, what they feel they need to do and to entertain things. But I'm just kind of sick of it. I'm sick of all the hate and you know, anger and stuff like that going into, you know. I feel like we have a duty as, you know, fighters to try and be a better example. You know, martial arts is about honor and respect. You know, it takes a lot of courage to get in that cage, and you know, no matter who you are. So, yeah, I just want to try and set an example in that way, and then, you know, just the rest of the world too. I think that there's a lot of, you know, negativity out there. Everywhere you look is just negative all the time, and I'm just trying to be that positive light as much as possible. You know, I mean, I'm not perfect either, but maybe this will. You know, we'll figure out a way to make this world a better place.
I am the better fighter out there. You know, he was able to capitalize on a low left hand, a right hook. You know, hats off to TJ. You know, he battled back, you know, from losing his title, and he was a hungry man. But I still am the better fighter in there, and I'll show that in the rematch. I had nearly a year layoff, you know, and that was the most trying period of my time to be able to come back and battle through injury and stay healthy and injury-free this whole entire camp. I just want to give a huge thanks to my coaches and my teammates at Team Alpha Male for sticking behind me, always supporting me, get me the best prepared that I can for November 4th. You know, through everything that we've been through in the past year, we was able to go from unranked to world champion the same year, and then, you know, then we got hurt, we got injured, but they stuck beside me, they believed in me. They showed me support and love, and I'll be forever grateful for that. You know, this is going to be a learning experience for me. I have to have a short memory in this game, you know, win or lose, and that's it. I'm excited to, you know, get back on, you know, that hard work. I'm never fearful of losing. You know, I'll go out there and live and die by the sword, and I'm willing to put the work in that needs to be to, you know, obtain the goal that I set out to do. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, die with dreams. I'm going to die with memories. You know, this isn't going to stop me from chasing a dream that I really saved my life since a young child was what I wanted to be as a world champion. And I've been here before. I've lost a lot in my life, you know, and I feel like if this is the worst thing that happens in my life, then I live a really good life. I have so many blessings coming to me. My wife is, you know, carrying our unborn child. We're expecting in March, so super thankful and happy for that. I can't wait to hold the little guy. And I have my book coming out, The Pact. I hope that can go around the world and just motivate, inspire, and people, from me and Maddox's story. And this is it, where I come from. It's about dreaming, holding on to a dream no matter what. I'm just forever grateful to have my health. I'm healthy, I'm not hurt, and I'll bounce back from this. This is just a learning experience for myself.
Mighty Mouse. Cody spent a lot of time up there talking about how he wants a rematch. Are you willing to give it to him?
I just finished him in the second round. He doesn't deserve a rematch. He's very new in this sport. He needs to work his way back up. I should have got a rematch after that Cruz fight. Very close split decision that I thought I won, and I did not get it. It took me a year and a half. Well, actually, almost 2 years to get it. So. Yeah, I think he's going to have to definitely build himself back up.
And you talk about, you want to fight DJ, but if he declines, if he doesn't take that fight, you're not going to give Cody the rematch. Who's up next?
We'll see what happens with Dominic Cruz and Rivera. It's a tough fight. I think Cruz got his hands full with that fight. But Demetrius can't run from this one. This one's too big. He broke his record. He got to pat himself and break his record. Now let's make some money. He's talking about how he wants those 7-figure fights. Well, this is it. Step up, be a man of your word, and let's get this fight going. He's a very cerebral fighter. He's smart. Him and his coach. So I know it's a very tough fight against me.
Cody said that he respects you as an athlete and as a fighter, but that he still feels the same way towards you as a person.
Yeah.
How about yourself? How do you feel about Cody right now?
Has
anything changed?
I respect him as a fighter as well. I do not appreciate. Me or my family. As you can see, my brother got very emotional after the fight. Have not appreciated the accusations and just the crap talk and trying to diminish my name and who I am, So, that's one that I won't ever forgive him for, But I do respect him for being a great competitor, and I'm sure we'll see him again. But yeah, he's lost a lot of my respect. He lost all the respect from my family.
Mike, this was obviously GSP's first middleweight fight. Did he feel like a middleweight in there to you?
No, yeah, he looked like one as well. He looked huge. I said going into this, I said he'd probably be the stronger man. He's one of those types of guys. He's a consummate professional. So he certainly felt like a middleweight when he had his arms wrapped around my neck.
Is there anything about George that surprised you tonight?
No, other than that left hook, no. To be honest, the fight went as I expected. I felt like I was reading him. I'm not trying to take away from him. He did fantastic. He was a better man than me tonight. He got the job done. But he wasn't really hurting me with any shots. So maybe that's why I got a bit overconfident. I know he was going to wrestle me. He didn't feel that strong. As I said, other than when he had his rear naked choke sunk in. But he didn't feel that strong. As I say, I was able to get back up pretty easily. Even in the small grappling exchanges that we had, I felt like I was, overpowering him. But nothing, no. Of course I got caught, so it sounds stupid to say that. But it was the fight that I expected.
Okay, and you touched on it there. You said that you might like to headline the London show. Is there anyone in the division that you might want to fight next? There's a host of people wanting to fight you.
I don't know about headline. I don't know if you saw it. I just got choked out. So we'll see. But listen, I love doing what I do. I'm from a small town in the northwest of England. I never thought I'd be here headlining Madison Square Garden. And I'll be damned if the last time I do it is getting choked out on TV. So, it wasn't my night, but that's the way with professional sports. One man or one team win and one man or one team lose.
Yesterday, Mark, we wondered if the sequel could be better than the maiden voyage. I think it's safe to say, and I'd love to hear anyone who disagrees, that the sequel was in fact better than the maiden voyage. And by the way, there have been now 3 events, MMA events at Madison Square Garden, if you want to include the Bellator event. Yeah. All 3 have been spectacular in their own right. All kinds of crazy things happening. And oh, by the way, there have been 6 UFC title fights in this building, and the champion has only successfully defended his title once. Now, we can maybe give Woodley the nod because he got the draw, but cleanly victory, only 1 out of the 6. That's crazy stuff as well. Magical place, by the way. Hearing as of right now that round 3, the 3rd trip to MSG, is scheduled for November of 2018. So this is going to be a yearly thing for the company. And thus far, the first 2 events, any indication, it has been a very successful venture for them. And oh, by the way, $6+ million gate, so it's the third all-time here in this building. 18,000 plus fans in attendance, including the unicorn Kristaps Porzingis. So all the talk about this not being a great night as far as business is concerned, well, George St. Pierre, Michael Bisping, and the rest of the crew did pretty damn good business for the UFC. Once again, George St. Pierre is the new UFC middleweight champion. Holy smokes, who predicted that just a year or so ago? Cody Garbrandt no longer the bantamweight champion. It's TJ Dillashaw now, and Rose Namajunas, Thug Rose Namajunas, is the new UFC strawweight champion. Wow, what a night here in New York City. We'll say goodnight. We appreciate you watching our coverage.
This Saturday night in the co-main event, Francis Ngannou. Give it up for him.
What's up, Detroit?
Still want problems though. All the things I know, I still been silent though. Isso aqui pode dar, mas fico torcendo só pra ser com ela que eu cheguei a casar. Piro quando ela se entrega, quando ela se esfrega e quando a roupa.
What is your name, brother? Sam. Sam? Yeah. Actually, that's my older brother's name. I don't like him, so I don't like you already. What? This guy, I brought him up here. This guy called me Luigi. That's some messed up shit, right? Body shot. Body shot. Body shot. Hey, the real body shot is gonna be Saturday. Saturday, baby. Saturday's the real show, baby.
Ariel Helwani in Detroit for UFC 218 alongside Jose Aldo, Eddie Alvarez, Henry Cejudo, Sergio Pettis, Tisha Torres, Michelle Watterson, Justin Gaethje, Alistair Overeem, Francis Ngannou, the reigning defending UFC featherweight champion, the one and only Max Holloway, who is sporting some gold here. I love this. Where do we get this?
I'll go. This is Versace, brother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do something magical on this one.
When you say something magical, what do you mean, honestly? Because, we hear so much about, brain damage, CTE, things like that, but you seem to be embracing this. Is that what you mean? Like, you want to go 3-round war with this guy?
I don't mind it. No, you know, the idea is always to take the path of least resistance, but I'm embracing the idea of it, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't want to have an expectation for a certain fight to happen. You know, I don't like going into fights that way. I like feeling it out and let them kind of evolve the way they do. So we'll see.
What did you learn about Justin being around him for those 6 or so weeks coaching the show?
He has a simple grasp on this game, and he doesn't complicate things.
Is that good or bad?
It's good. Oh. It's good. I think if you overanalyze, you kind of hesitate and you start to wait and you fight less and less. So, like, I feel like experience can be a double-edged sword. People say, oh, he's experienced, so he'll win. No, it's not necessarily true. Experience can cause thought. Thought can cause hesitation. Hesitation causes death. So, I think when you don't overcomplicate things and you keep them simple, you just react off your instinct. And that's kind of what I've been getting back to in my career. And I realize that I'm an instinctual fighter. I fight better that way. I fight better free of thought. And I find myself fighting better and better and better every single
Michelle gets a lot of love from the UFC. They push her a lot, right? They do a lot of media for her. She's on an MTV reality show. What do you make of that? Do you feel like they want her to win this fight?
You know, the UFC tends to push a lot of fighters, but when they do that, they often end up going down.
Yeah.
So you saw that with Paige, and now you see it with Michelle, and you see it with what's her name, Cynthia. I think that their time is just coming. You know, I believe Michelle is a top fighter, but not top 5, and I do believe I'm top 5. I think I'm just going to go out there and impress my will on her everywhere the fight goes.
Mentally, the biggest lesson you learned from the Rose fight, what was it?
The biggest lesson I learned, I believe, is to not hesitate. Fighting Rose, you know, I took a huge step up in competition. I know that that's where I belong. And I learned that in that tier of competition, it's not necessarily the person who is a better fighter, but more so the person who makes the first mistake. And I learned that the hard way.
It's all fun and games for him. I'm ready to fucking take his life, so he better get his mind right.
Legit.
He signed the dotted line and said he's going to try to take mine, so why not return the favor?
He said on Monday that this is for the violent championship of the world. Are you down with those stakes?
I'm 18-0 at 15 knockouts. Has anybody in the history of MMA fighting had 15 knockouts in their first 18 fights?
I don't want to say definitively. I'd have to look it up, but that is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, so I think I own that title already.
Oh, okay. So is it at stake?
Yeah, he said he's going to drop me, then submit me. So that's not what the most violent man in the UFC does. What I'll do, drop him, and then stand him back up just like I did against Michael Johnson. That's what the most violent guy in the UFC or MMA does.
Like I said, we got cupcakes coming. Of course, I got 250 cupcakes coming in tomorrow for me. I'm looking to, there's new ones, you know, there's new flavors. I was looking forward to the new flavors. But I know if the new flavors don't show up, guess what? There's a bunch of cupcakes that I know is going to be in there that I'm going to enjoy. So all these guys is like cupcakes to me. You know, anybody can get it. I don't care. I'm not picky. I love it, and anyone can get it.
If all goes well on Saturday, do you want to rekindle the thing with Frankie, or have you moved on?
We see what happens, you know?
It is what it is?
Yeah. It is what it is, you know? It is what it is.
He was in diapers when you were fighting Saitama Super Arena, kicking butt in Pride 10 years ago.
No, he was not, because the man is older than he says he is.
You want to see his birth certificate?
Some documentation.
Yes. You don't buy it?
I don't.
How old do you think he is, honestly?
I think same as me, if not older.
Okay. How old are you now, for the record?
37.
37, really? I would have guessed 29. You're looking great.
It's going
I think fatherhood has made you actually younger.
I think UFC want the best to win, because if everyone win the fight, I mean, they will not take the victory for someone because they don't want it to win. You know, everyone who deserve it will win. Why they put us together? Because that everyone can win. You know. We both have a chance to win the fight, and then when you win the fight, you win the fight.
Can I ask, was it a booger or was it blood that she threw at you? Because it looked like it was blood.
It was definitely blood. It was a big chunk of blood that Courtney flicked at me, and I don't know. It might have hit me. It might have landed on me. I guess that's my thing. Is I always get bodily fluids thrown at me in fights.
Has that ever that's happened to you? I mean, the Justine Kish was a little different. Is that what you're referring to?
That yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
A bit different. Like where someone like intentionally throws blood at you or something.
Well, I mean, usually you can't intentionally throw blood. Like you can only throw it if it's a chunk of blood, which means I must have done something to her nose. No one's ever done that to me. Like I said, I'm not really mad about it. I think most people would be mad and think it was like disrespectful, but we were in the heat of the moment. We were both cussing at each other, and
Where did it hit you? Or did it hit?
I think it hit me somewhere.
Okay. Just wanted to confirm, was it a booger or was it blood or was it a booger?
It was a chunk. It was a booger. It was a booger chunk. It was a booger blood chunk.
Okay. I just don't want to.
Booger bludgeoning. It was like.
I just wanted to confirm.
It was chunky. That's why she flicked it at me, and it was laying on the floor, and I stepped over it. It was like a worm, like in the water in the pond when it rains.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay. Didn't want to misquote you.
Well, I don't know what quote you're gonna take out of that now.
At UFC 209, you at the press conference, you gave us some singing at the end before you left, and this is the home of Motown.
Yeah.
So what do you have for us this time? Anything good? Some Aretha Franklin.
Wow, 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 yippee yo, yippee yeah. Where my dogs? What's up, Detroit?
I like it.
Yes,
well
sir.
done. You know, it was interesting watching the fight when he had you on the ground, and it seemed like it was getting a little dicey. Even Rogan said it, and we were kind of saying to each other, like, why didn't he just get up and tell Charles to get up with him? Why did you want to go? Like, were you trying to prove a point there?
No, it's a good question. I wasn't, though, and I was just talking to my teammates about it.
Wow.
CM Punk just took a spill. Nobody saw it.
Wow.
Get him out of here. Straight edge my ass.
Can't take him anywhere.
And, I honestly, I landed some elbows, and he actually hit me with a couple really good leg kicks. And, yeah.
Did you notice that he tapped?
I did.
Okay.
And me and Big Dan were just talking about it. He saw it too, but he thought he was saying, like, whoa, nice shot.
Oh, really?
Hey, in the heat of the moment, I'm doing my job. I just know you tapped. You guys saw me pause for a second.
Yeah.
And then he's still there, and the fight's not over. And you better believe I'm not stopping until somebody pulls me off. I couldn't believe how many more I actually got off before the fight was stopped.
You waited to see if the referee was going to step in.
Yeah, and then, and it probably on camera, it probably looks like it's about 0.01 of a second, but for me, it feels like 10 seconds of me being like, is it going to be over? But in the heat of the moment, it probably looks like that. But I felt him tap. I felt him go like no more. But the fight's not over, so I just kept chucking him.
At this point, probably the winner of Andrade or Carolina would be good, but really I'd like a title fight. I'd like that, grudge match. I think it's a fight the fans want to see. And when we were in Invicta, everybody said that first time, I think we were the first fight they had on pay-per-view, that we were going to fight for the UFC title one day, and I believe that's going to happen. I think the story is there, and it'd be a great fight for the fans and for myself, and nothing against Rose, business is business, but I want that title fight, and I've been wanting it for a long time. So if it wasn't Rose, if it was Joanna, I'd still be, edging for that title fight. It doesn't really matter who has it. I just want it,
But for the most part, we're looking just for openings for takedowns and putting them on the ground. And, we had a specific plan. And even with not just him, not just his fights, but his brother's fights too, they've always, having wrestlers very problematic for them. So when they wanted this fight, I'm just like, man, I was almost like, are you sure? Just because of that strong base, and but kudos to him, man. He came out, he was confident that he could have got this win, and I just came on top.
At this day, in Libya, we have some African guy who just want to immigrate because they want to have better life. They are finding road to go to Europe, something like that, and they crossed Libya, and then they treat the Libyan catch them and treat them as a slave. So we saw that on TV, on social, and then I have my heart break for that, because I was immigrant too. I do all that stuff, but no no idea to that doesn't mean I was a bad guy, you know. I was just someone found a better life, you know, found something to do to help my family and myself, to earn my own life, you know, my own money.
And you're getting the title shot next. You got a lot of leverage right now. Are you pushing the UFC to, you know, have a card in your country? Is that sort of a dream of yours?
Yes, of course. I want to. First of all, I want to be the first African to have a UFC belt. I want to be the one who bring the UFC in Africa, basically in Cameroon. You know, make Cameroon be the first country in Africa to have UFC. It will be good. It will be like an honor for me.
I recently heard about Aldo's his motivation for this fight was his daughter, and you know, me being a parent with my son, I get it, but you know, that guy should know he doesn't have to owe anybody anything. You know, that guy's one of the greatest of all time. I think Brazil should be building statues of that guy in all the favelas, man. He's a legend. He's a GOAT. And I got a lot to feel, so. But, you know, to your question, I told you guys before, there's a quote going around. I told you guys, if I beat you one time, the second time is going to be worse. And then the third time, you should rethink your life about accepting the fight, you know. But just joking, but we knew it, you know. After the first round, I walked up to Joe Rogan and John Anik. I told him the guy's tired. He's tired already. In the third round, I dropped my hands. I was telling him to punch me. I was like, bro, this is where you punch me. Punch me in the face. I was daring you. I was telling him, I dare you. I dare you to punch me now. And, you know, it went well. Things went my way. I think so. I landed, he landed some shots. My shots just seemed to hurt him a little bit more. So everything went my night tonight. But like I said, the guy's a GOAT, man. You know, I had nothing but respect for him and his team and his family and all of Brazil.
But let me ask you about the expectations. Did this fight live up to those immense expectations?
I think it definitely lived up to the expectations. I might argue surpassed them because there was some concern for me that it would have an early finish. One of them that maybe Gaethje would knock him out and get a good shot because I've questioned Alvarez's chin given the wars he's been in over the years. However, and you also have to add in the crazy Medeiros Alex Oliveira fight that we saw, which had people's expectations sky high already if they weren't high enough for Alvarez Gaethje. And I think this fight was arguably, and this is where people are going to go nuts, I think this fight was arguably better than that one. It's close. I think they were maybe the 1 and 2 best fights of the year.
Sure. First 3 quarters of 2017, I think, for the UFC, somewhat forgettable, but they are ending the year on a very high note when you consider 217 last month at Madison Square Garden. This card tonight, which I think may have exceeded expectations, and a lot of people were excited for it going into it. And then, of course, UFC 219 coming up in just a few weeks, and that's Chris Cyborg versus Holly Holm. So things are looking up for the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And Detroit, UFC's return to Michigan, their 3rd show here in Michigan. I think they came out, they represented. Good showing here at the Little Caesars Arena. They even gave us Little Caesars pizza here. What a nice little touch at 2:54 a.m. Eastern Time. It's never good to have pizza this late or this early in the morning, but when you're at the Little Caesars Arena, why not go ham, right? You see what I did there?
I don't think we got ham pizzas, though.
I think there was one with ham. I really do think there was one with ham. You see, this is what happens when it's late. We're basking in the glow of UFC 218. Max Holloway is the reigning, defending UFC featherweight champion. He wins his 12th fight in a row. He successfully defends that title for the first time since 2014. The first person to do it since 2014. Do you remember who did it back on October of 2014?
Putting me on the spot. Jose Aldo.
Yes, of course. Jose Aldo against Chad Mendes in Brazil. Remember that night? Here we go. The blessed era is upon us. We'll see what happens to him next. Last thing for you. This time last year, you were dealing with the whole USADA thing, and then they do the featherweight title, and you're not a part of it in Brooklyn, and then you come back and you have to fight it. How would you describe 2017? Here you are, last show of the year, headlining a year later from the Ronda fight, and now the spotlight is on you. A few months ago, you didn't know if you'd be coming back, if you'd get a chance to fight for the belt. It's been a roller coaster this year for you. How would you describe it overall?
It's like novella, the roller coaster. It's happy and sad and happy, sad. But I think it just make you challenge yourself and then getting better and then and appreciate who around you. When it's bad, things happen and you see who's really love you, who's your family, stay with you. And when everybody happy, you're the champ, you see you have a lot of people around you. But this is you appreciate who with you. And then, you know, I always God plan. God want to happen everything like this, like roller coasters. You know, have just keep praying, keep training, be ready for next opportunity.
I need music. We need music. How you wash your hair?
Last thing, what do you think will feel better, the win over Ronda or this win, considering everything you've been through since the Ronda fight and considering what Cyborg has done in her career? Do you feel like this one may be even sweeter once it comes on Saturday?
The thing is, with a win with this, I don't really compare them, and I can't say one's better than the other. They're just different. And the other one was kind of one of those nobody expected I could do it. And this one is a little different because some people are like, oh, she's the one that likes to shock the world. She's done it before. So there are some people that believe I can. So then there's like that other pressure with that. Well, they all think I can do it, so I better do it. You know, so the ones that do believe in me because they've seen the first one. The other ones that don't kind of see it as the same. But it's really its own journey. It's not the same. I just feel like to be able to do it twice, the fact that I did it twice, that is what is big, and not one over the other. It's just if I can do it twice, that's what's big, that I've done it more than once.
Good luck. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
And are you really considering going down to 145? I know you said that earlier, or are you just joking with reporters?
No, I'm not joking. You know, I am serious about this. But first of all, I have two fights in lightweight. You know, like Edson and Tony. I want to finish this business, and after we're gonna think with my team what we're gonna do. But I am already thinking about this.
You say Edson and Tony. Why not Conor?
To be honest, I don't believe he ever come back.
Period.
But maybe when money is done.
Okay. When he runs out of it.
But he's smart businessman, you know. Like I think he have money, and to be honest, like 50-50. But I don't think about him.
Cynthia was fairly vocal after the fight. She was standing outside of the octagon, sort of calling it bullshit. Just did you see that, and what were your thoughts when you saw that?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like you never know what the judges are really gonna say, and you know, so when you're waiting for that decision to be announced, you're kind of like, but I mean, I felt I had definitely got the last 2 rounds, and. Yeah, when I was talking to Joe, like I heard some boos and I was like, are they booing for me? Like what's going on? But my coaches said she was actually like, you know, I won that, like, you know, kind of to the crowd, and they were like, nah, you know, like that's not the case. And then
I'm interesting from fan base because I grew up in mountain, you know, like I'm coming from nowhere. Like people need, who this guy with headgear, like nobody understand what it is. Like people interesting, and he go into the inside the cage, he smash everybody. He's 25 and all. Who this guy? World champion. Like everybody talk about him. Where he from? Russia. But originally he's not from Russia. He's from Caucasus. Where from? Is Dagestan. Where he from? Born. You know, like he born from mountain. He wrestling all his life with bears. You know, like this guy is crazy. You know, people think about this. That's why I'm interesting. This is my opinion. And I agree with this, and I agree, and I'm gonna keep going, inshallah. I'm gonna keep going, keep smash my opponents, and take this belt. And my dreams, retired, undefeated, undisputed UFC lightweight champ, becomes one of the greatest lightweights of all time. This is my dream, and I follow this. And that's why I think people interesting about me.
Would you say this was the most competitive fight of your career?
I think Holly tough. You know, I think there's more. I think the first fight I did 5 rounds with her. You know, and I think she's tough. She did amazing, and yes.
Would you say this is the greatest win of your career?
I don't know. I think I have a long time. Yeah, still. I'm not retired after that. Maybe I have more years and still more fights.
Do you think this cements you as the greatest female fighter of all time?
Me?
Yeah.
I never think like that. You know, I leave my fans think about that. I just have to keep training, keep learning, because the girls are gonna like beat me, and I have to be ready.